See, I don't know why the game goes to black if I'm like not on on the screen for a little while, so that's unfortunate. But hi, hello, good evening. Sorry, I'm still definitely not fully there, but my voice has. Okay, now that I'm actually actively talking, it doesn't sound as good as I thought initially, but my voice is somewhat there. So um, we're gonna do this. There is still no heterosexual explanation for that movie, and this is still specifically about Barbie and the Diamond Castle, whatever the English original name is. One of the few quotes I can actually fully remember what I was talking about. Let's see. I accidentally moved my microphone arm somewhere I don't want it to be. Okay, there we go. But yeah, there is no sound on the main screen here aside from if I do this. Do not mind that I could continue. We're just simply going to ignore that I have a full save file where I've unlocked absolutely everything in this game already. We are going to start a fresh save and we're going to act. I'm going to act like I've never seen any of this before. I know nothing that is going on. This specific version of 999 has voice acting in both Japanese and English, and as you do know me, I'm going to stick to Japanese voices. I'm sorry. You do have to read. If you don't understand Japanese, you sadly do have to read. Everything that's not voiced, I'm going to read out myself somewhat. Yeah, it's like 999 or the Zero Escape games are very near and dear to my heart. They have been for a long time. No, stop doing that. Don't. I'm trying to talk game. I'm sorry. They're very near and dear to my heart. I love them a lot. The very first version of this game that I ever played was actually the very interesting mobile version. I think not even mobile, but specifically iOS version. I don't think it actually released on Android. Which was basically just like, okay, it is a very text heavy game, text heavy and escape rooms, puzzle rooms, that kind of thing. And the iOS version was like, okay, what if we give you the entire story, but none of the escape room? No escape room, so you only get the story and then any story relevant details that come up during an escape room, because during those rooms you actually talk to some characters when they're stuck in the room with you. Oh, okay, yeah, you know what? Okay, sure, let's okay. That way we can test how loud the game is. Not very, it feels. I think I can turn it up a little bit. It's just if I tap out, there's no sound at all anymore, so. Nine hours. Hell yeah. All right. Okay. Thank you, game. Now it is time. It is time for me to yap a little bit. No. Let our game begin. No. I need to say a few more things. Hold on. First of all, hi. Good evening. So nice to see you as well. Yes, the iOS version had a flowchart, which was fascinating and new at the time. Very interesting. It's not gonna be a 9-hour stream. No, sorry. I do have to work tomorrow. It had a flowchart. It also gave you one specific ending that it just put into one slot where there's, I think it was where one of the, I think the X ending normally was. They gave you a slightly different one if you went one specific order, which is very funny. Also tripped me up because I was following the walkthrough for normal DS version, and I was like, why do I keep getting this ending? But yeah, the iOS version basically condensed everything down. So there was no gameplay aside from reading. It was literally no, stop. It was literally called just 999 the novel. And I fell in love with that version of the game already. And I didn't even do any of the puzzle games, puzzle rooms. I think they're okay-ish in difficulty. I've definitely had some that left me more stumped than the ones in this one, but also it's been a few years since I've last played it, so if I do get stuck somewhere, I'm sorry. But yeah, let's see. I think I can turn the game up a little bit. I don't know. Like I tried earlier. Hold on. Options. Let me go to the options. I think the sound is fine here. It's just the introduction cutscene is very... Because if I do the voices like this, I feel they're a little too loud. I don't know. I still feel like it's too loud. Like, I still have to talk over them, but I don't know. We'll just have to see. We'll just have to see how it goes. For now, let me click a few more things. I don't actually remember the best order to go in. What we will not be doing is, because I know this and I can say this as someone who's played these games before, there's one ending that you will get if you have not unlocked something else beforehand. There's a few like there's a few I forgot how to speak English. There's a few points in the game, if you haven't found a specific information, then you will not be able to go through to the true ending, which I think is very fair, because the game does live off its story, so it doesn't make sense if you go through to the true ending and you have no idea what's happening half the time. However, there is an ending that you can get, but if you haven't unlocked something else, the game will stop there. However, you will see the exact same sequence up to that point, and the true ending continues after this one if you've unlocked this other specific ending. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab everything else, and then we'll just go towards the true ending in one go. Because I do not believe in, why would I go when I already know that there is going to be a dead end there if it's going to feature the exact same sequence again and then continues after this cut off, as long as I have the right information. Just, for reference. So what, there's three, let me see if I remember correctly. There's 3 bad endings, then the one you have to get, and then the one it kind of locks you out of if you don't have the other one, and the true ending. So we're going to grab all of our bad endings, and then we're going to grab the one that we need, and then the true ending. That's my plan, at least. So we'll sorry. We'll just have to see if that's going to work out. I'm hoping. So let me just, I think that's a good idea. Okay, I think I have my plan on what I want to do. So let's actually get into it. This game does have controller support. Do not look, no, do not look at, we want a different thing. We're not looking at those unlocked endings. We haven't unlocked anything. This is our first time playing. Me going for all the bad endings. Yes, I'm going for all the bad endings. Yes, we're going to go for all the bad endings. Let me... Oh, excuse me. Just imagining. Okay, I guess I am. Let me see. This game does have controller support, so let's hope it actually does that. Because I don't want... I would like to save here on a new save file. Yes. Good. This game is fiction. All names, characters, and incidents portrayed in this book. Oh, 2 models of play novel and adventure. Okay. Damn. Games like, oh, you think you read fast? Well, fuck you. Maybe I do need to turn it up a little more. Also, hi Mel. I hope you're doing good. Also, hi Room. I hope you're also doing good. I didn't say thank you for the braids earlier, did I? Sorry, thank you for the braids as well. A loud noise startled Junpei awake and his eyes snapped open. Oh yeah! Yeah, no, I remember who your voice actor is, don't I? As they adjusted to the light, he realized that he didn't recognize his surroundings. Damn game, give me a chance! You experiencing FOMO? Aww. I'm sorry to hear that. The new raid? With a crack, Junpei's head connected with something metal. He rolled over and threw out his hand to steady himself, but he found himself groping at empty air. His balance lost and his still fuzzy mind struggling to understand what was going on, Junpei tumbled down to the cold grey floor. You know, when I first played this game, I didn't know. Well, you'll see in a second why, but I didn't actually know that there's no time limits, like actual real-life time limits to any of the stuff happening in this game, and I was so scared. I was so scared I would run out of time. You'll see why. I mean, I think you can still blind proc as long as you don't look at guides, and there's probably teams out there who also like, hey, we didn't look at guides, we still wanna try. There should be. Yeah, at some point I'm like, oh, but on the other hand, I'm glad there isn't because, oh, please, my poor head. I would like to know what button the menu is on. That's the save slots. No, oh my god, no, I don't want to return to the title screen. I would like to figure out which button the menu is on. This one. Uh-huh, interesting. It's frowned upon, okay, but not everyone can do the new raid just because it released. Oh, maybe you need glasses like me. Yeah. Yeah, where the hell are we?
止まったのか。なんだこの音。気味悪い。
A sound you never want to hear in your life. Believe me.
俺は 5?
A giant number 5 on the door.
5ってなんだよ。開かないか。なんだこれ。この装置が扉のロックを制御してるってことか。おい！誰かいないのか？
Giant number 5. Can I get a large number 4, please?
開けてくれ！なんだよこれ。
A little bit of Monica in my life.
腕時計
A weird
じゃないよな。
armband on my hands.
5なしだ。扉の数字と。
Yeah.
これっ すんだ。
That's the secret, you don't.
この横に出っ張ってんの。こいくそ、反応がない。腕から無理やり引っこ抜くしかないか。
Respond.
くそ、ダメだ、全然抜けない。たく、なんなんだよこの腕輪は。ここは一体どこなんだ。なんで俺はこんなところにいる。なぜだ、なぜ。
And why are you so angry?
一体何があったって言うんだ。頭がこの窓、これってまさかここは船の中なのか。暗くて何も見えねえな。せめて外の様子がわかれば。え、おい、マジかよ。なんなんだよこれは。なんなんだよこれは。くそ。
Top 10 situations I would never want to be in.
おい、誰かいないのか。いたら返事をしてくれ。水がもうこんなところにまで。暑いぞ。とにかくどうにかしてこの部屋を出ないと。
Seek a way out. Iconic. Simply an iconic line. Hell yeah. Probably someone kill you for the... Maybe. Operations during an escape. During an escape, you're restricted to an area. Your goal: search around to uncover how to unlock the door. The items and hints in the room that will help you escape. Use the cursor to select a location you find suspicious to search the room. Use LB or RB to walk around the room. Left stick controls. Move to left. Yeah, okay. You know, worst case, I'll just use my mouse, but what the hell is this? About items. Once you've obtained an item, you may want to go to the item screen. Pressing Y. Well, okay. Note from bulletin board. Okay. Investigate with an item. Item visible in the lower left is item currently in hand. If you're okay. Okay, thank you. A picture frame. A very pixely picture frame. Absolutely, thank you for coming by, even if it was just a very short time room. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get over it finally. Still not all the way there, but you know, we're getting closer. Wait, how do I... Ah. The door to the stove. It opens easily enough. Sure wish the door to get out of here was that easy to open. Ah! Screwdriver. Yeah! Combining items. Select combine the item screen to combine two items. If the two items can be combined, you will receive a new item. If you cannot, then nothing will happen. Try different combinations. Okay. Screwdriver, huh? Wonder why that's it. Yeah, gee, I wonder. Anything in here? It's like there is. A blue key. Key. It's a little blue key in the bottom of this pot. Odd. Odd, he says, but he takes it. Okay, no, hold on. Ah! A small red key! Probably hold on to this key, absolutely. You look like you've seen hell.
それからただいまって返事はなくてもつい言っちゃうんだよな。はあ、今日もよく働いたぜと。風邪？変だな。窓なんて開けたっけ？別におかしなとこはないよな。やっぱりただの締め忘れか。
ダンダン。
誰だお前。力が抜け。
光栄に思うといい。お前は選ばれたのだ。これからお前にはゲームをしてもらう。
ゲーム？
ノナリーゲーム。
のなにゲーム？
生死をかけた運命のゲームだ。
そうだそうだよ、あのガスマスクをかぶった男。あいつが俺をこんなところに閉じ込めやがったんだ。あの野郎。いや、まああれじゃ男かどうかもわからなかったけど、あいつは一体。お前は選ばれたのだとか奴は言ってたが、わけがわかんねえよ。目的も何も。なんで俺なんだよ。
これからお前にはゲームをしてもらう。
ゲーム？
ノナリーゲーム。生死を
I just love how they say it. I can't help it. のなりゲーム。
ノナリーゲーム。ノナリーゲームって何なんだよ、クソ。
Well, my guy, you should try and focus on getting out of this room before you drown, and then maybe you'll find out what the heck a nonani game is about. Let's see. I think I can keep looking till the cows come home. All I'm gonna find up here is that pillow. Damn it. Isn't there anything else I can use? There is. I'm probably just checking the wrong one. It's a blue briefcase on top of the bed. Okay. Sure, let's check the briefcase then. It's locked tight. See if there's anything in the keyhole. A funny combination that we haven't figured out what it is yet. Hold on, where is it? I know it's somewhere. Can reach this bunk, might as well look through it. Damn, nothing here. Where is it? Ah, this one. Yeah! Memo from bed. Now we have 2 memos. Interesting, right? Very interesting. A normal screwdriver. Oh, yeah, no, I wanted to combine this with the picture. Screwdriver could the screws off easily enough, and here's the picture. Picture of an old cruise liner that has some information. How do I rotate this thing? Okay. You're 5 and you're 0. Which means yeah. Yeah. 7 4 7 4 6 3 7 4 6 3. No. Oh no! Wait, hold on. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Oh, we hit a follow. Nice. Yay! No, wait. It's 2. Wait. The red one... Okay, hold on. Let me try this again. 7. This is why you should play this game with a notepad in front of you and not like me. Not like me without anything to write on. Hold on. 7, 4. 7, 4. That one. And the other one goes this way, so... What? 8? No. Yes. 8... 5. And the blue one? Oh, maybe the other one way around. I don't know which one comes first, actually. And then the blue one? Well, probably the one where it starts with the blue then. 0... Which way do you go? This one. 2? Mm-hmm. 6... 3. Okay. Now we just need to figure out where to put those. Well, apparently this thing is blue, so let's try the blue combination on this. Let's see, 0. To put the key in the keyhole in order to enter a number. Oh, sorry, my bad. Small key. This blue key works. Try it. Yeah, let's see what happens if I put this blue key in the keyhole. And nothing. It's gonna need some sort of code for the dial, obviously. May trigger one of several mini games. All operations. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, game. That's how I thought it would happen, but oops. Thank you for the explanation anyway. Yeah, look at that. There's a key and looks like it's working. Alright, let's open it up. Well, what's in it? It opened. Looks like there's something in here. What is this? A file. File screen. If you find any documents or notes during an escape, the information contained in them will be available on the file screen. First, open the file screen. Okay. Let's see what's in this one. Digital root. Oh, yeah. I don't like math. I do not like math. But this game somehow managed to make me accept it. Let's see here. Computer digital root. The following steps. First, add all the numbers in question to one another. If you end up with something greater than a single-digit number, add the digits to one another. For instance, if you have a double-digit number, add the number in the tens place to a number in the ones place. Keep adding digits in this manner until you have a single-digit answer. The final single digit is your digital root. Example, the digital root of 678 would be 3. Yeah! Therefore, the digital root of 678 is 3. Digital root of 1, 2, 3, 4 would be 1. Yeah! Hell yeah. Thank you for that time. It's an easy enough explanation, I think. And to be fair, it's easy enough. It's just you go in order and you just put everything together. Ta-da! And just keep adding numbers until I get a single-digit number. Huh, looks like there's something on the back of this thing. A notebook, a pen, a calculator, and a stack of key cards. Huh. Aha! A stack of blue key cards. New material is printed to the file screen. Calculator. Press to open. Oh, they're like, okay, if you do. Oh, that's nice. If you don't have an extra calculator for bigger numbers, or even for small numbers, if you're not good at math, like me. Digital root which will be important to the progression of the story. Ah, nice. I have never used this calculator. That's crazy. Like, okay, sure. I guess I was aware in the back of my mind that this was available, but I've never used it. Okay, that's nice. Thank you, game. Okay, where do we put the red one? Wait, what does it say on this thing? I haven't checked this yet. Bulletin board. There's nothing on it. Oh no, that's just the rest. Okay, my bad. Already took the memo from there. Where haven't I checked? This thing. What are you? Aha! Aha! Just like the blue briefcase, there's a lock on this one too, and it's not opening. Yeah, let's see. Let's try this. Stick the right key in there. It's not opening. It's not doing anything at all. Alright, I take that back. I guess I can move the dial now. Looks a little... Yeah. Same procedure as before, so this one should be... Yeah! I unlocked it. What's in this thing? Ah, red key cards. Okay, can I combine the red and the blue key cards? No. Okay. But maybe I can use them. I say maybe, I know for a fact I can use them, but you know. Well, okay, hold up. How do I open the item screen? This way. I have 1, 2, 3. And I have 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, and 6, 7, 8. And they just told me about the digital root. So how am I going to get a digital root out of these cards? Oh yeah, no, it absolutely means something, my guy. Let's check this lock. It's cards with numbers on them. I'm pretty sure this is where I'm supposed to use them. Let's set these cards in and see if they work. And... I need 3 numbers. It's not working. Why? Damn it. No, that's right. I still have cards I haven't used. You sure do. Damn it, not again. There aren't any more cards in here. We only got one other hint. Of course, the files. The file says something about a digital root. Digital root, and it's in big text. Digital root, huh? What am I supposed to do with... There's a 5 on that door. Do I have to get a digital root of 5? I'm not really sure about this. Oh, whatever. It's worth a shot. Let's see if this works. I just slide the cards that give me the digital root of 5 through the reader. Operating instructions. Select 3 cards. Digital root of selected cards will be displayed. Second reset with these select. Ah! Well, that's nice. I don't need to think about it myself. I don't even need to think about it myself. They're just going to tell me if I'm right or wrong. Let's do it then. Let's get out of here. I think this is gonna work. There we go. That's a new noise. Huh. Did it just unlock? Well, the light was red and now it's blue. No doubt about it. There's nothing keeping me in here now. Time to go. I would argue... depending on which direction this door actually opens in, it could be hard to get out of the room with all of the water behind us, but let's not think about it. Let's just go. Oh, it opens out too. Okay, never mind. That's good then. Let's rush out with the water. You found it. You found it. We're going. This poor man.
助かったよかったけど便所にでも流された気分だまるで
How would you know what that feels like?
まあお 溺れ死ぬよりはずっとマシだがと
This Junpei and Junpei for Persona 3 seem like total pushovers. To be fair, I like this Junpei a lot more than I like the P3 Junpei. This Junpei is... He's a little silly. But I like him.
ここは通路か？ドアだ。ドアがある。
A door in katakana. A door.
くそ、水が邪魔だ。このよし、開くぞ。なんだよこれ。
It's pretty below average. Oh, come on. It's his first time being a main character. Cut him some slack.
ここは本当に船の中なのか？いや、そうだよな。やっぱりここは船の。
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, okay, yeah, absolutely. Physically, this Junpei, this one here is, yeah, very average, yeah.
ちょっと待て。巨大な水の塊が押し寄せてきている。逃げないと。
I like that the voice lines were just on top of each other. I wasn't pressing anything. Especially compared to some other characters we're going to meet specifically in this game. No, he is very noodly.
急げ。次がエデキか。人が。
God, I love the art still.
こんなに。
And the character design.
仲間が一人増えたわね。
踊り子？
違うわよ。それよりあなたも早く。
違うとか言われても。銀髪？
あ？仲間、こいつがね。
なんだよ。
別に。
上はダメだ。扉は2枚あるが両方とも開かない。
Lion.
開かないって。
だからほら、あなたも一緒に来て。早く。
Hold on. 1 second. Hold on. Who is this? Yeah, I knew it. It's like, wait, that sounds like Shigura Shirika because it is. Because it is. Who else have you voiced? Literally nothing I know. Okay, yeah, Shichi and Naida in Genshin, but I don't play Genshin. Io in Granblue. Ah, I was like, wait, Dika Furude in my 999. Yeah. Very snory. A long-nosed dog. Love me some long-nosed dogs. I think Borzoi, Borzoi. I don't know how you actually say that breed name. They look very funny. Prince.
どうやらカードは揃ったみたいだね。
かわいそう、かわいそう。Me. Last time I played this game, I already played it with the Japanese voices, but I had not experienced the entirety of Higurashi, the games, yet. So this is a very welcome experience for me. And knows. I love the names he gives everyone. Like, he's like, oh my god, this one guy has silver hair, but this other dude, he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna call him Prince, but not worry. Like, he also has gray hair. What the fuck? What the fuck do you mean? Why is the silver hair on this one guy special, but not on the other one? Junpei.
ライオンみたいなじいさんにピンクの頭の女の子、意味のわからない言葉を残していった王子様にと。
Hi, Papa. Thank you for the resub. Welcome in.
It's also some guy who looks really... What? Wait. Are you guys seeing my cursor? Yes, you are. Why does he have 2 pockets on this side and only 1 pocket on this side? I do not know if there's an option to turn off the text box. But... Huh? Why does he need 2 pockets over here and 1 over... My guy, what the hell? Your back hurts. Aww. I'm sorry to hear that. What else would you think they are? I think they were going for some kind of pocket thing, yeah. They don't look like pockets to you. Oh, okay. Well, I literally just came from there and there's water coming up behind me. Yeah. Now these small little pockets you have on blazers. That is definitely the flap of those blazer pockets. It's not like you can put a lot in there. They're mostly just there to look cool, maybe. That's why I'm weirded out why he has 2 on one side and only 1 on the other. But they definitely look like blazer pockets. I forget how long the original introduction sequence of this game is, though. Haha.
ねえ、そんなことよりも早く。
わかってるよ。開けよ。ダメだ。びくともしないぜ。邪魔だ。オッケー。
Whose jawline? Well, if this mountain of a man cannot get the door open...
この扉も施錠されてるってことか。いや、それでも。
Well, worth a try, I guess.
他に扉はないのか?
He'd scarcely taken a step when, at the top of the stairs next to an ornate clock embedded in the wall, he saw a person. It was a girl. She looked to be the same age as Junpei. He froze, unable to look away from her face. He wasn't confounded by her beauty or something equally silly. No, there was another reason he couldn't take his eyes off the girl. Junpei had seen her somewhere before. Couldn't quite remember where, but he knew. He knew he'd met her before. The girl, too, stared at Junpei similarly stunned. Her response suggested she'd seen him before as well. Without saying a word, Junpei walked slowly toward her. She didn't move. It was almost as though she was held in place by some sort of magic spell. As Junpei stepped onto her landing, the spell broke. No sooner had he set his foot down than the whole ship shook a second time. Junpei caught his girl unprepared and she fell. Moving on instinct, Junpei leapt to catch her. Oh, so he thought. Her face was far closer than it should have been, mere inches from his own. He was flat on his back and she had landed squarely on top of him. The girl seemed as confused as he did, and her face suggested she still hadn't fully recovered from seeing him. For a moment that seemed to stretch for a very long time, they stared at one another. The ship stopped shaking. Everything was quiet. Water could be heard from the bottom of the ship, lapping faintly at walls and ceilings, but eventually that faded as well. The silence was complete, a thick, muffling blanket. At last, the girl opened her mouth. Jumpy. Jumpy. The words echoed through Junpei's head, and suddenly his memory returned.
お前、もしかして、茜か?
I don't think Junpei's that ugly. Don't be mean to him. Hi. Good evening, Sango. Hi. How are you? Her eyelashes are crazy. I've always thought this, but I still think her eyelashes are crazy. Why hadn't he realized it before? The girl was Akane Kurashiki. She and Junpei had been friends in childhood. They'd gone to elementary school together for 6 years. But what was she doing on the ship? Her soft eyes were only inches away from his own. He could feel the warmth of her face. Feelings he thought long forgotten began to work their way to the surface. Oh, well, to be fair, I haven't been streaming very regularly lately, so it's kind of hard to catch me. Well, I'm glad to see you here. He could feel his face heating up. At that moment... Oh, that's... Welcome aboard. Why was that in English?
なんだ?
何今の声?
One second though. I'm sorry, every time I tap out it stops playing, but who is Akane's Miyuki Sawashiro? Okay, get it. I guess. Okay. Absolutely. I forget that they got a bunch of really big people for the voice acting. You've only played Somnium Files? Ah, have you played both Somnium Files though? Because you absolutely should. I'm replaying 999. I'm going to replay all of them anyway, but I'm replaying 999 because the announcement of the next Somnium Files, I was like, ooh, why did they put the Seek a Way Out thingy on there? Are they going to connect them back to these games somehow, or is it just a nod? Just like, heh, that was a fun tagline, heh. So I felt nostalgic. It's on your list. Good. Good, very good.
この声は
Right, my bad.
あのガスマスク男の
Well, how do you know someone in a gas mask covered in from head to toe in a black coat is a man? Hmm.
どこにいやがる出てこい
一体私たちをどうするつもりだ
のなりゲーム。
のなりゲーム。
何なんだそいつは
何言ってるの？
おいポケットに何か入ってるぞ
俺もだ
We will call them numbered doors. The doors in front of you are a pair of the same. The key to opening these numbered doors are the numbered bracelets that each of you possess. Should you total the numbers on your numbered bracelets and find that the digital root of that number is equal to the number of that door, the door will open. Only those who've opened the door may pass through. There are, however, limits. Only 3 to 5 people can pass through one numbered door. All those who enter must leave, and all who enter must contribute. The purpose of the game is simple: leave the ship alive. It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out, seek a door that carries at 9.
どうやらゼロは全員に同じ手紙を配ったようだな君読んでみてくれないか
Would you mind terribly? I would
数字の書かれ
actually.
た扉が何枚かあるこれをナンバリングドアという
Numbering door. I love Japanese voice acting so much when they just take English words and do whatever the fuck they want with them.
今諸君らの目の前にあるのがまさにそれだナンバリングドアを開くには各自に割り振られたバングルナンバーが鍵となるバングルナンバーの合計数その数字根が扉に書かれた数と一致した場合のみそれは開く扉を開いた者だけがその先へと進めるただし人数制限があるナンバリングドアを開くことができるのは3人から5人までだ当然その先へと進めるのも同じ人数となるバングルってのはこの腕輪のことか
Well, to be fair, yes, that's usually what you would call something like this on your arm. But okay, it's a specific bracelet.
あえて言うまでもないだろうこの船から生きて脱出すること脱出するための出口は船内のどこかに隠されている探したまえ9と書かれた扉がそれだ
I think there's an automator to this as well, but yeah, we have slightly more time than barely 3 hours.
鐘の音。
階段の踊り場の方から聞こえてきてるみたい。
Oh, that is crazy. No, my god. I'm kind of glad I hadn't experienced Higurashi when I first played this game with voices. I can't, oh my god, I cannot unhear it now.
時を告げているんだ
鐘の音が9回
9時ってことか。
それも多分午後の9時だ。
Hi Flo, good evening.
あの三段ベッドの部屋、窓の向こうは真っ暗で何も見えなかった。だから今が夜であることは間違いないと思う。
だとするとタイムリミットは明日の午前6時ということになるが。
Chain to bad entertainment. Hell yeah!
貴様のつもりだ。出てこいこの野郎。
Well, I hope you feel slightly better than this morning at least. And also, Flo, I just realized that Miss Pinkhair, we don't know her name yet. Miss Pinkhair here has the same voice actors as Rika Furude, and I cannot get over the fact.
銀髪のやつ、ずっと怒鳴り続
He
け
has
て
a
る
lot of big thoughts he needs to tell the world.
他のやつらは。わからない。ゼロってのは一体何者なんだ。ノナリーゲーム。何のためにそんなことを。愉快犯的なものなのか、それとも何か別の目的があるのか。そもそもどうしてそんなわけのわからないゲームに俺が
What's
選
the
ばれた。
difference between the adventure screen and the novel screen anyway?
他のやつらもそうだ。この
Oh.
8人が選ばれた理由は何だ。
Okay, no, you know what? We're sticking to this one.
そして何よりもどうして茜が。茜とは小学校を卒業して以来、その茜がどうしてこんなところにいる。
Yeah. Oh, I saw that just now that she's also here in Grand Blue, but like, what?
偶然なんてことはありえない。必ず意味があるはずだ。彼女がここにいる意味が。
とにかくこのままじっとしていても仕方がない。動こう。
999, my beloved, hell yeah. You understand me, Sal. Good evening.
動く。
This is the very beginning of the game, where no one knows each other's names yet, and Junpei just gave everyone a nickname in his head. Scene describing? Oh, wait, really? No way! The lines were seen oddly loud in silence. Oh, fuck! Oh no! Okay, okay, never mind. We are sticking to the novel screen then. I did not know that.
ナンバリングドアを開くつもりですか。
ちょっと待ちなさいよ。あのゼロとかってやつの言ったことに従うつもり？
違う、そうじゃない。
I did not know that. I don't remember how I played this game last time. The lion shook his head, mildly annoyed.
別の道を探しに行こうと言ってるんだ。まだ調べてない場所が残ってるだろ。
調べてない場所？
まだ調べていない場所か。俺以外のみんなは A デッキを調べてきたんだよな。
ああ、焦ってたんで隅々まで完璧にとは言えないかもしれないがな。
だったら先に下のフロアから調べてみよう。どこまで行けるか。まずは降りられるところまで降りてみるのがいいと思う。
I mean, to be fair, I never actually played the original DS version of this game. And the iOS version definitely only had text, so... But even then, I think that was back in, what, 2000 maybe 13? that I played that, so I kind of doubt that you can still download it from the App Store, actually.
意義なしだ。
I can check. I can check. I can check it right now. I don't even need to doubt. I can literally just check it. Hold on. App Store. Let me see. 999. Novel. Okay. 999. Gets me absolutely nothing I want. Zero Escape. Room Escape. Gets me some weird room escape thingies. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I don't think it's still online. I could buy Danganronpa for 17 fucking euros. Excuse me? Oh, okay. Sure. I guess. Why not? You played very little bit of the DS game. I never had the DS version. To be fair, by the time got around to really playing it, this one kind of came out pretty much. Let me see. Oh, I cannot go that far. Can I? Let's see. Hold on. Come on, App Store. Don't leave me hanging. I need to know if the listing is still somewhere online or not. Okay, no. Same fate as SMT ports as well. I have not played a single SMT, a mainline SMT game, I mean.
では行ってみるとしよう。
Maybe at some point, but I feel like I would be one of those people to definitely suffer through the difficulty of them and...
何よこれ、完全に水没しちゃってるじゃないの。
Yeah, that's where I ran from earlier.
おいおい、このままどんどん水かさが上がってきて全員仲良く敵視なんてのはごめんだぞ。
いや、今のところその心配はなさそうだよ。
The prince knelt down and gently drew his hand across it.
水が流れていない。ということは、どこかでせき止められているんじゃないかな。もしかしたら、あのゼロってやつが遠隔操作か何かで水密扉を閉めたのかもしれない。タイムリミットは9時間。ゼロはそう言っていた。ならば逆に言うと、9時間は持ちこたえるということに。
それまでは沈まないっていうのか。
あくまでも希望的観測だよ。そうであってくれたらと願ってるのさ。
Very true.
嫌な話だぜ。
しかしここから先に進めないとなると、我々の動ける範囲は A デッキから C デッキまでということになるな。
みたいだな。
結論を出す前に残りの C デッキも調べてみようぜ。もしかしたら何か手がかりが見つかるかもしれないだろう。
だな。とりあえず目立つのは大階段の正面にある鉄の扉か。
2枚とも数字は書かれてないのね。認証装置らしきものもついてないみたい。ダメね、鍵がかかってる。
こっちもだ。くそ、どこもかしこも開きやがらねえ。
Oh, did you know that if some weird mastermind invites you to a game and gives you two big doors that look like they might be connected to the game the big mastermind wants you to play? I forgot where I wanted to go with that sentence. Anyway, they might close off every single other door or window or whatever there is if it's not connected to the game. Feels like something a big mastermind would do.
おい、こっちだ。階段の裏手にも一枚あったぞ。
Just saying.
ここも開かないか。
こうなりゃ。よっさん、手伝え。
力ずくというわけか。やってみよう。てやりゃ
It's worth a try.
ダメか。
ちょっといきなり暴れないでよ。びっくりするでしょ。
すまん。
しかし二人がかりで体当たりしてびくともしないとは相当に頑丈な作りのようだな。
バカね。考える前に筋肉代理なんて。
あ
ほら、よく見てみなさいよ。
鍵穴？
そう、他の扉と違ってここは開く方法が分かってるんだから。
Wow, you need a key to open a door. No way. Crazy. Never heard before.
鍵ね。
Hi, Itzy. Thank you for the idea time.
何か文句でも？
And a non-binary. Some non-binary for this nonary game.
いや、ただそう簡単に鍵が見つかるのかと思っただけだ。
How are you? And thank you for the posture check. Oh! Yeah, that was a good one. Ignoring the tense air between the two, Junpei moved closer to examine the door now. Just above it was a strange mark in the shape of a circle surrounding a dot. Oh, a headache. Oh. I hope your headache goes away soon.
ねえ、こっち後ろの方も見てよ。
Think I was looking at double doors they hadn't examined yet.
こっちも扉か。
扉っていうかエレベーターだよね。これ横に逆三角形のボタンがついてるし。
押してみるか。反応がないな。
電気が来てないんですかね。
もしくはこのドアの横にあるカードリーダーが関係しているとか。ここにも妙なマークがあるな。何なんだろうなこれ。小文字の H の縦棒にマイナスを加えたみたいな記号だが。
Junpei stared at it for a while.
女性のマークですね。
I was about to say. Junpei, did you never watch Sailor Moon? You would have known.
先生術なんか
If
に
you
使
had.
われるシンボルみたいなものです。
That's how I know, at least.
じゃあさっきの扉にあったのは。
あれは太陽のマークだと思います。星のシンボルは A デッキにもあったよね。
そんなもんあったか？
記憶にないわね。
A デッキか。俺はまだ行ったことがないからな。
A deck.
せっかくだ。もう一度しっかりと調べに行こうじゃないか。
Lion's words urged them on and they took the stairs up.
ほら、あの階段の両脇に設置された2枚の扉。左側の方にだけ鍵穴がついてるんだけど、そのすぐ上のところに印がついてるの。
あ、本当だ。さっきのやつとどことなく似てる。
これは地球のマークです。横の棒は赤道、縦の棒は四五線を表しています。
Junpei looked up at the ceiling.
あの天井。鉄板か。まるで蓋をするみたいに打ち付けられてるな。
おそらく元はドーム型の天窓でもあったのだろう。
あそこから出られたらいいのにね。
現実を見ろよ。爆薬でも仕掛けない限りぶち破ることは不可能だぜ。
窓も同じか。
See, that's what I'm saying.
塞がれてる。
There were several windows along both sides of the Bleh. Let me try that again. There were several windows along both sides of the ship, or at least there had been. They too were covered with metal plates.
つまり要するに八方塞がりってことか。
Junpei was not happy. The girl with pink hair spoke up.
正確には3フロアあるから24方塞がりだよ。
Then the mountain spoke.
上下を加えれば26方塞がりだな。
The prince did not agree.
いや、やはり24方塞がりだよ。2つの道はまだ残ってるんだからね。
数字の書かれた扉。
All eyes turned toward the doors with numbers on them. The atmosphere in the room grew tense.
ねえ、ちょっと待ってよ。さっきも似たようなこと言ったけど、私は反対よ。
The dancer moved in front of the doors as if to block them.
あのドアを開くなんて馬鹿げてるわ。それこそ犯人のゼロの思うツボじゃない。
Suddenly, everyone began to speak at once.
俺は賛成だ。いつまでもここにいるわけにもいかないしな。
そうだな。私も賛成だ。
私は絶対に反対よ。
とりあえず進んでみるべきなんじゃないの？
何が起きるかわからないし、ここにとどまるべきよ。
そんな時間がどこにあるんだよ。8時間30分後にこの船は海の底へと沈むんだぞ。
Clam of voices made it next to impossible to determine who was saying what. The good thing is, they all have very distinct voices now that the game is voiced. The arguments grew more and more intense until people were shouting and screaming at one another.
なあ、ちょっといいか。
They felt silent and all eyes turned to Junpei. He felt each stare burning into him, but he refused to flinch.
進むかとどまるかを決める前にやっておくべきことがあると思うんだ。
やっておくべきこと？
情報交換だよ。俺たちはまだお互いのことを何も分かってない。知りたいんだ。あんたたちが何者なのか、どこの誰で、なんでこんなところにいるのか。気になるだろ、他のみんなだって。
They were silent. Some of them looked the other way, or bit their lip, or crossed their arms and stared at the ceiling. But one of them spoke up. It was Akane.
私も賛成です。純平君の言う通りだと思います。
純平？
あ、ごめんなさい。この人のことです。
She pointed toward Junpei.
私たち幼馴染なんです。小学校が同じで。
We haven't seen each other in many years, but other than that, we're friends.
待て待て待て待て。聞いてもいないことを勝手にベラベラと喋るんじゃねえ。ゼロはおそらくどこかで俺たちのことを監視してるはずだ。奴に聞かれたらどうする？
聞かれたらまずいんですか？
まずいに決まってんだろうが。ゼロが俺たちのことを知ってるとは限らない。無作為に適当にターゲットを選んで拉致ってきただけかもしれん。
Highly unlikely.
だとすると、奴に素性がバレるのは危険だ。家族が脅迫されたり、逆に俺たちの方が脅されることにもなりかねえ。家族の誰かを人質に取ったと言ってな。
でも、せめて名前ぐらいは教えてもらわないと、呼び方がわからないと不便じゃないですか。
だったらコードネームで呼び合うことにすればいい。
To him, apparently, it seemed like the obvious solution.
コードネーム？
便宜的に仮の名前で呼び合うんだよ。例えば俺だったらセブン？なんでセブンなんだ？
Seven. It seemed a fair question. The mountain stuck out his left arm.
俺のバングルナンバーが7番だからだよ。
なるほど。確かにそいつは明暗だ。
He smirked.
だったら俺はサンタで行こう。サンタロウのサンタじゃねえぞ。サンタクロースのサンタだ。
Any of you chumps know Japanese, he said in Japanese. In my Japanese game. never gets old. I fucking love that line. It's iconic.
ということは君のバングルナンバーは
そうもちろん3だ
Just like the mountain had done, Silver thrust out his left hand. Sure enough, the face of his bracelet read 3.
わかったそれでは私も君たちに習おう
Yes. What was your codename? Ace, I think.
私のバングルナンバーは1だ1だから一宮というのはどうかね
だったら私はヤシロで頼むわ。バングルナンバーはご覧の通り8番だから。
8番。
僕のことはニルスと呼んでもらいたい。
For Snake Eyes, because you have a 2.
バングルナンバーは言うまでもなく2番だよ。と言っても僕にはその数字は見えないんだけどね。
見えない
やっぱりあなた目が
He kept his eyes closed during the entire ordeal, which had suggested something strange, but to hear it said so casually. As you all know. Let her be. She is a little stuck up in the beginning, I will say. But I still like her. It was something of a surprise. Everyone seemed a little nervous at the prince's proclamation, but no one seemed to know how to react to it.
じゃあ次は私だね。
Okay, so he's blind. Woo! Y'all never seen a blind person before, Jesus Christ. There was one person, however, who didn't seem to be surprised in the least. The girl with pink hair.
私は四つ葉がいいな。四つ葉のクローバーの四つ葉。縁起がいいでしょ？ほら。
Looking almost bored, she held out her left hand. The face of her bracelet showed the number 4. They come around to Junpei. He held out his bracelet.
俺の数字は5だ。コードネームは
You don't need a code name, we all already know your name.
今さら必要ないでしょそんなもの。
The dancer cut him off in
み
mid-sentence.
んなもう知ってるもの。あなたの名前は順平だって。
そっか
They all nodded. I kind of stepped forward nervously.
だったら私も本名で呼んでください。だってそうじゃないと。
順平君に悪いからか
自分だけ本名を伏せるわけにはいかないと
I kind of fidgeted awkwardly. Junpei decided he had to do
お前
something.
のバングルナンバーは
6ですけど。
She hesitated for a moment, then held out her left hand. As she claimed, the bracelet's face showed a 6. Junpei looked at it for a moment and thought.
だったら紫っていうのはどうだろ
紫
Yeah.
う。
Like the
頭
month.
に無がつく単語なら何でもいいわけだろ。だから紫で。
俊平くん。
I kind of needed her hands and looked up at Junpei, uncertain. You know what? I think that specifically, though, maybe it's just a me issue. But with his name being Junpei and her name in the English version being June, her code name being that, it always fucked me up a little bit. Like when I read over a text to first, I was like, hold on. 2 different people. June and Junpei are not that similar, but because they both start with J-U-N, I tripped over it a few times. It's obviously a non-issue in Japanese, but in English I was like, wait. Jun, Junpei. Jun, Junpei. I smiled back at her reassuringly.
お前もそれでいいよな。
She thought about it for a few more minutes and seemed to come to a decision and gave Junpei a small nod. Well, the names decided, Junpei ran over them quickly in his
こ
hand.
こまでで自己紹介したメンバーは確か
We're missing one person, by the way. Junpei, just saying. It's a not so subtle nod to the relationship. Like, no.
1番は一宮
Ace.
2番はニルス
Snake.
3番はサンタで
Santa.
4番は四つ葉
Clover.
5番は俺で6番の茜は
ジュン
俺さらに
7.
7番はセブン8番はヤシロ
Lotus.
これで俺を含めて8人のバングルナンバーが判明したことになるのか。あとは
そこの鳥の巣頭のメガネをかけた男だけだな。
そういえばあんた、出会った時から一言も喋ってないよな。
His skin was pale, his breathing was heavy, and he was soaked with nervous sweat. His behavior seemed very suspicious, or perhaps simply emotionally unstable. It was difficult to tell. Whatever the case, it seemed clear that he had only a fingertip's worth of grip on his sanity. Of a grip. The girl with pink hair, Clover, walked up to him slowly. She put her hands on her hips and eyed him suspiciously.
あなたは何番なの？
He didn't answer. His bloodshot eyes twitched from person to person and his breath came in hot pants.
ねえ、聞いてるんだけど。
The man licked his dry lips with a shaking tongue and spoke with a voice like old paper.
そんなこと聞くまでもないだろう。今ここには9人の人間がいる。そして1から8までの数字が出揃った。残った数字が僕だよ。
9番ってこと？
そうだ。
He extended a trembling arm. The bracelet did indeed say 9. Clover looked at it contemptuously.
コードネームは？
コードネーム？
呼び方のことよ。みんな自己申告したんだから、あなたも。
そんなもの僕には必要ないね。
どうして？
僕は君たちと一緒に行動するつもりはないからだよ。
He took a shuddering breath and exhaled. Clover looked at him with something very like disgust.
何か考えでもあるっていうの？
あるさ。
Anderson. Wow, okay. Thank you, voice break. Definitely fitting, but wasn't planned.
どんな考えが？
教えてほしいかい？
うん。
I'm not so sure. Tomorrow!
わかった。それじゃあ教えてあげよう。こうするんだよ。
By the time they realized what he was doing, it was too late to stop him. The man's body moved like a snake's. In the blink of an eye, he had slid around behind her and wrapped his arm around her waist.
てめえ、何やってんだこれ。
Silver, Center, leapt forward toward Clover and the ninth man. He was halfway there when... Suddenly the man's hand dove into his pocket. He held it to Clover's pale, quivering neck.
それ以上近づいてみろ。こいつの喉笛に風穴が開くことになるぞ。
Thank you for the pad. Very fitting in this high-stakes situation.
そうだ、それでいい。
The man's smile was neither friendly nor reassuring. Sweat put down his neck, soaking the collar of his shirt.
四つ葉、大丈夫かい？
Prince, Snake's voice sounded oddly concerned.
うん。大丈夫。
Her voice shook, making her words even less convincing.
一体何の真似だ。だから言っただろう。これが僕の考えだ。
そいつをどうするつもりだ。
Something. I feel like the English version of the game has them swearing way more. But I fear that's simply an issue with Japanese.
安心しろ。どうもしや
You know, not
しや
having
さ。
as many swear words.
素直に言うことを聞いてくれればすぐに解放してやる。
He started to move backwards, slowly keeping his grip on Clover.
ゆっくりだ。さあ、僕に合わせて動くんだ。
Keeping the distance, Junpei and the others followed. Eventually, the man reached the wall. He gave a start as his back touched it, then glanced around quickly and spoke.
ここだ。認証しろ。左だ。左を見ろ。壁に装置がついてるだろう。その装置のスキャナーパネル、円盤のところに手のひらを乗せるんだ。
断ったら
The man's nostrils flared and he looked like he was about to choke.
君は全く状況が分かっていないようだね。なんなら今すぐ君の喉をかっさばいたっていいんだよ。僕は何も困りはしない。僕が必要としているのは君のバングルだけなんだからね。ほら、さっさとしろ。
He pressed a knife against Clover's neck hard.
わかったから。
Slowly, she stretched her left hand out toward the device.
こう
Her back was to it and she had to feel around for a moment before she found the circular panel. It made a cold electronic noise and on the display above her hand an asterisk appeared.
そうか。そういうことか。あの装置の円盤部分。確か、スキャナーパネルとか言っていたが、おそらく、あれに手のひらを乗せることによって、バングルナンバーが入力される仕組みになってるんだ。だとすると、バングルナンバーの合計数。その数字根が扉に書かれた数と一致した場合のみ、それは開く。
Junpei shifted his eyes to the door itself. The number on it was 5.
しかし、どうしてあの男は装置の仕組みについて知っているんだ。それをまるで熟知しているように。
よし、それでいい。それじゃあ。
His bloodshot eyes crept from person to person until finally he stopped on a lion, Ace.
確かお前だったよな。バングルナンバー1番のやつは。
ああ、そうだが。
だったら次はお前だ。
Yeah, because that way they have 9 plus 4 plus 1.
このガキと同じように認証を。
Which gives you a 5.
何をしてる。ガサガサするな。こいつがどうなってもいいのか。
わかったよ。落ち着け。
Ace held up his hands, palms out. The ninth man jerked his chin toward the device.
行くぞ。
Slowly, cautiously, Ace moved toward the device. After what seemed like an agonizing eternity, he reached it.
さあ、認証を。
こうだな。
Ace nodded and placed his hand on the scanner panel. The device beeped again and a second asterisk appeared. Is that even how you say that word? Asterisk?
4つの4と1にある1が入力されたことになる。4たす1イコール扉に書き殴られている数字と同じ。だが、それだけでは。
Yeah, because you need 3 to 5 people.
ナンバリングドアを開くことができるのは
S.
3人から5人まで。
Asterisk. Okay.
ゼロの言っていたことが本当。
Well, he can just use himself.
誰なんだ。その最後の一人ってのは。
S. Asterisk. S. Asterisk. How do you want me to say it? S. Asterisk.
下がれ。
His voice shook, but the knife he held to Clover's throat made his words a command. Ace took 2, then 3 steps back.
もっとだ。もっと下がれ。元の場所まで戻るんだ。
わかった。
Slowly, Ace did what he was told. The ninth man's lip curled into a cruel, twisted smile.
まさか。
That was when Junpei understood his plan.
4つの4と1にある1。これに取り除く男の9を足すと 4+1+9イコール14。14の数字コンマ。つまり
聞き分けのいい連中ばかりで助かったよ。これでどうにか命拾いすることができそうだ。
He pressed his own hand against the scanner panel. A third asterisk appeared on the screen. He dropped his hand to the lever on the side of the device and pulled. Asterisk. The door opened with a heavy metallic groan.
よし、お前ももう用済みだ。
I mean, he clearly understood how to open a door, but not much else from the rules, no. He let go of Clover. Jupiter leapt toward the ninth man, but he wasn't fast enough.
ほら、こいつは返してやる。
The man shoved Clover. Asterisk. And hopped through the door.
それじゃあ皆さんお達者で。僕は一足お先に失礼させてもらうことにするよ。では。
He raised his hand and waved, a twisted smirk on his face. Then he was gone. The door ground shut with a dull clang of metal on metal.
四つ葉、大丈夫かい？
Snake ran to Clover's side as she lay on the floor.
大丈夫。
And then there were none. Dun 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 dun. Wait. I wonder the same, right? It's like, okay, you have the number 9, but according to the rules, you need 3 to 5 people. Even if he is to find the door 9, it's not like he's going to get it open with just his 1 9. Like my brother in Christ. Agatha Christie. Psh, psh. She climbed steadily to her feet, and once there leaned heavily on Snake's shoulder for support. Junpei went to the door. The others followed him. Several pairs of hands grabbed hold of the handles and pulled. Yes, that is the new. Hi, Humpy. How are you? They grunted and strained, but who would have guessed? It won't budge. That was when Lotus, the dancer, spoke. Her voice was quiet.
ね、何か音が聞こえない？
I am still a little sick. This cough is not leaving me alone, but we're getting there. It's definitely gotten better already. That weird ticking noise. You're not hearing it, Junpei?
断続的な電子音みたいな音が。
Junpei pressed his ear against the cold metal of the door. The others did the same.
確かに聞こえますね。
I do fear you will not be able to hear it on stream. It's a very small noise.
何の音だろ
Then they heard something else. It was the ninth man.
なんでだ、なんで止まらないんだ。話が違うじゃないか。
話が違う。
こんなはずじゃなかったのに。こんなはずじゃ。こんなはずじゃ。
His voice shook with fear. Save on the outside, they stepped back from the door and looked at one another.
一体何が起こってるって言うんだ。
開けてくれ、開けてくれ、頼む。助けてくれ。ここから出してくれ。出してくれ。
Junpei grabbed hold of the device. He slammed his hand on the scanner panel. Nothing happened.
なぜだ、なぜ反応しない。エンゲージド使用中だと。ダメだ、もうダメだ、時間がない。聞いてくれ、僕は騙されたんだ。あいつに、あいつに、あいつに、あいつに。
Who's he? The explosion rocked the room. Instinctively, they ducked, then stood up slowly when they realized there was no danger. No one spoke. Silence filled the room.
電子音
All eyes turned toward it.
今のは認証装置の音か
Would you look at that? It's no longer occupied.
表示板のサインがエンゲージドからベーケントに使用中から停止
Vacant! Ah, I love Japanese.
開けてみろ
7. The mountain swallowed hard.
ああ
Junpei nodded and placed his hand on the scanner panel. A red asterisk appeared on the LCD panel.
これで装置には俺のバングルナンバーである。だが一人が認証しただけでは扉は開かない。
Oops. What to do? Well, there's not too many options there that would work out, so... Wait, is this because I've tried this before? What? Whoa! What did I just press? Oh no! Why are these grayed out? What does it do if I press?
サンタそれから紫ちょっと手を貸してくれないか
The pun was a little too on the nose, but the mood was still grim. Come on, you guys. You're 9 together. Both Santa and June lifted their left hand silently. He verified and she followed suit.
5たす3たす6イコール14。
Equal.
14の数字根は1たす4イコール5だ。これで条件は整ったはずだ。あとは脇に取り付けられたレバーを下げればきっと。
いいか開くぞ
Junpei grabbed the lever and looked back over his shoulder. He stiffened and nodded. Junpei nodded back and set his mouth in a grim line. Then he slowly lowered the lever. There was a metallic groan and the door slid open. A breath of air drifted out of it, carrying a stench that nearly made them gag. Junpei grimaced and put a hand over his mouth. Thank you for the non-binary!
そんな
なんてことだ。
なんてことだ。Lotus and Ace shuddered. Seven grunted.
うわひどいなこいつは。
Even Santa's voice shook.
爆死か。
It appeared that Santa was right. The hallway on the other side of the door was splattered with chunks of torn flesh and dark red blood. Hey look, it's a corpse we're not actually showing you on screen, but we do have the blood in its normal colors. Shriek echoed across the room. It had come from June. Then her strength left her and she dropped. As Junpei turned to catch her, the door ground shut. She crumpled to the floor.
おい大丈夫か
Junpei dropped to his knees and put his arm around her shoulders. That was when he noticed. Her whole body was feverish. She was radiating intense
おい
heat.
どうしたんだすごい熱じゃないか
June didn't answer. Her face looked like wax and her whole body began to shake.
とにかく休もうな歩けるか
She nodded weakly. Junpei lifted June to her feet and guided her to a nearby chair.
さあここに
As gently as he could, he set her down in it.
大丈夫か
She nodded, and as she did, a single huge tear rolled down the side of her face. Because he didn't adhere to the rules. The voice crack broke my misery and grief and choked by sobs. Junpei spun around.
なあ、何か心当たりがある奴はいないのかよ。ゼロのこと、ノナリーゲームのこと、何でもいい、教えてくれ。一体どうしてこんなことになったんだ。
No one spoke. Ace, Snake, Santa, Clover, Seven, and Lotus. A lot of names that start with an S. They simply stood there, 7 pairs of downcast eyes and 7 grim lines for mouths. June's body shook with silent sobs. They slowed as the minutes ticked by and eventually they stopped. Then suddenly, in the cold, heavy silence that had enveloped them like a thick fog, a bell began to ring. Clock in the central hall. 7, 8, 9, 10 times. Yeah, I'm gonna go X first. Also door 5. We're gonna go door 5 first. And then on the 10th ring it stopped. The sound of the bell faded away into silence.
10時か。
Sure is. I said what each one of them had been thinking.
ゼロのアナウンスがあってから1時間だな。
Seven's deep voice echoed across the room.
ああ、もううんざりだ。
Ah! Santa leapt to his feet, his fists
い
clenched.
つまでこんな風にしてるつもりだ。ゼロが言ってたタイムリミットまであと8時間しかないんだぞ。いい加減動こうぜ。とっとと先に進もう。
Santa's outburst fell on deaf ears. What? Deaf ears? Hello, brain, are you there? No one seemed to agree with him. They stared back at him, their eyes blank and their faces tired. Yeah, have a good night. Have a good night, Mel. Get some rest. Finally, Lotus spoke.
私は嫌よ。あの男みたいになるのはごめんだもの。
あの男？あの9番の男のことか。
そうよ。他に誰がいるっていうの？
In his mind's eye, Junpei saw the corpse again. Leaden pieces of flesh. The dark reddish-black pool of blood, the scattered pieces of flesh, organs strewn across the floor like the blossoming of a grotesque flower. The explosion that had torn through his body had been powerful. No, I would argue that's a way for a person to perish. The ninth man's neck had been twisted at an odd angle. Junpei suspected the detonation had thrown him against the wall. Half of his face was crushed and the other half was covered in blood. Most of his abdomen had been emptied either by the explosion or by gravity. He had landed on his back and stark white ribs jutted out of his chest like the legs of some sort of macabre crab. Ugh! Jesus Christ, yeah, go into more detail, why don't you? Junpei felt something flip in his stomach.
あいつは何かヘマをやらかしただけだろ。
Eyebrows went up and Santa continued.
ワイヤーか何かのトラップに引っかかって自滅したのさ。俺ならそんなドジは踏まない。必ず切り抜けてみせる。
Whatever Snake was laughing at, Santa did not find particularly humorous.
何がおかしい？
いや、あまりにも自信たっぷりに言うもんだから、ついね。
なんだと？
そういう問題じゃないんだよ。
あ
？9番の男が死んだ理由さ。トラップだのなんだの、そんなものは関係ないんだ。
じゃあ。
あの男はゼロの定めたルールを破った。だから死んだ。わからないか。もう一度ゼロの言葉を思い出してくれ。奴は人数制限について何と言っていた？
ナンバリングドアを開くことができるのは3人から5人まで。
その後は？重要なのはその後なんだ。ゼロは続けて何と言っていたかな。
Santa furrowed his brow and thought. Junpei thought back. There was that everyone who verified had to go. Why? I cannot figure out why some of these options are grayed out, because why would I say that? Oh, whatever.
当然、その先へと進めるのも同じ人数と
Maybe I
なる。
tried to see just what happens or something.
ゼロは確かそんなことを。つまり、中に入れるのも3人から5人までってことだ。
正解だ。
Thank you. Snake inclined his head toward
とこ
Junpei.
ろが、あの9番の男はそのルールを破った。たった一人でナンバリングドアの先へと進んだ。
Yeah, but we specifically started a new one and saved on a new screen, so I wouldn't have that happen. But I guess when it comes to the decisions, the game doesn't really care. I don't know.
だから処刑されたんだ。
すると、やはりゼロはどこかで俺たちの行動を監視してるってことになるな。
Well, duh, of course he is. Which brings me to another point, though. I should... No. Nope. Oh, that's a flowchart. Oh, that's nice. That's good to know. I would like to save. Good. System save. Oh, yeah. Maybe.
ルール違反を犯さないかどうか、常に目を光らせてるってわけだ。
うん。それはどうだろ
う。なんでだ？
処刑は自動的に行われるシステムになってるからだよ。常に監視してる必要はないんだ。
どういうことだ？
Snake looked at Seven with what could only be described as pity inside.
仕方がない。僕の口から言うしかなさそうだね。しばらく待っていれば、もう一度ゼロからのアナウンスがあるんじゃないかと思って黙ってたんだが、どうもそういう兆しはなさそうだしな。
He couldn't see them, of course, but perhaps Snake sensed the confused eyes upon him. When they spoke, he gave words to everyone else's thoughts.
君は何か知ってるのか？
ああ、知ってる。
何を？
これだよ。
Snake removed the card from the pocket of his
カ
jacket.
ード？何が書かれているのか？
見てみなよ。
With a flourish, he presented it to Ace, who took a close look at it and spoke.
おいおい、参ったな。こんなもの私に渡されたって。
貸せ。
Santa snatched the card from Ace, but his expression of disgust quickly turned to one of confusion.
あ？なんだこりゃ。
Braille, I'm assuming. Seven tucked it out of Santa's hands.
なるほどな。
The card went from Seven to Lotus, from Lotus to June, and finally to Junpei. Assuming no backseating, just here to chill? Well, frankly, you can't backseat me in this game because it's not my first time playing it, but in general, yes, absolutely no backseating, but feel free to chill. Welcome in. He looked at it and understood.
展示じゃないか。
It sure is. Well, the written language of the blind. The card was covered with small embossed bumps. Junpei could recognize it, but he certainly couldn't read it.
悪いがお手上げだ。返すよ。
Junpei handed the card back to Snake, who nodded at him with a small smirk.
で、それは一体何なのよ。
気がついたらポケットの中に入ってたんだ。おそらくゼロからのメッセージだと思う。
ゼロからの？
メッセージだと？
なんで書いてあるんですか？
Suddenly everyone was crowding around Snake, desperate to hear what the message said. Santa especially looked as if he were about to grab hold of Snake and shake the answers from him. Snake raised his hand.
まあ待てよ。そう慌てるな。せかさなくても、これから読み上げてやる。
Junpei swallowed hard and waited for him to start. He was not the only one. Presently, Snake began to read, his voice calm. His fingers glided over the tiny bumps as he spoke.
バングルナンバー2番のもの。君は目が見えないというハンデを負っている。そこで君だけに特別にこの情報を伝えよう。レッド、デッド、およびバングルの仕組みについてだ。
The deactivation device.
回収装置のことだ。これはナンバリングドアの向こう側に設置されていて、バーブルに仕込まれた遺伝起爆送信機を停止させるときに使う。ああ、すまない。突然こんなことを言っておでこせてしまったかもしれないね。実は今、君、および君がこれから出会うであろう者たちの体内には、
Maybe they all ate small bombs and suddenly exploded. Or is it implode? If you die from a bomb that goes off in your intestines? Or would it still be explode?
意識を失っている間に私が飲ませたのだ。目覚めた頃には胃袋を通過し、小腸のあたりへと達していることだろう。従って、吐き出そうと思っても無駄だ。諦めたまえ。一方、左手首のダングルには、さっきも言った通り、次元起爆送信機が仕込まれている。これは、体内の小型爆弾を炸裂させるためのタイマーのようなものだ。
タイマー。
それが作動する要件はたった一つ。ナンバリングドアを通過すること。誰であれ、この程度をくぐれば、無条件にタイマーが作動を始める。タイムリミットは81秒。何もしなければ、それは81秒後に、体内の小型爆弾に向かって、
Because otherwise this wouldn't really be a game for our life if there was no death trend. Well, another one, I guess. We already have the threat of, oh, you know, this ship can go under in less than 9 hours. And now we have another one, which is, hey, if you go into these rooms, you also all have to deactivate the funny bombs. Yippee! Version with low mic, physical collapse, force going up. Okay. Okay, thank you. Which also means you cannot smuggle someone through, and you shouldn't try. Thank you for the pasta check and the hiding time. Too many points. Ah, yeah. I was like, I don't remember the second one. I do. I need to add more expensive options. Okay. 2. Tiff had someone reach the most expensive thing she has on her channel. I think, and someone actually redeemed that. I think she's doing the stream for that today, actually. It's like one of those where it's like, okay, that is a lot of points for no fucking reason. But I don't know. I don't even know what I would put as something super expensive just for the hell of it, so you can keep them for a while longer.
この情報を生かすも殺すも君次第だ。うまく活用すれば序盤の段階で邪魔者を排除することも可能だろう。健闘を祈る。
It's a good thing Snake is so nice, right? Snake finished reading and carefully returned the card to his pocket.
要約すると、レッドで認証を受けたチームだけがナンバリングドアの先へと進めると、チームメンバーは一人欠けてもいけないし、もちろん増えてもいけない。
Yep.
レッド、デッド、バングルはそのルールを守らせるための装置。
Appears to finally actually get the ASMR.
ジャッジのような存在なんだろうな。
You will get them. I promise. I've promised, and I do plan on actually doing them. Obviously, neither ASMR nor Ring Fit are a good idea when I'm sick. But you will get them. Excuse me?
くそ、爆弾だなんて冗談じゃねえ。出てこいよ、クソが。
Didn't it literally just say that you should not try to get it out that way? In defiance of Zero's suggestion, both Santa and Seven put fingers down their throats and began to gag. The rest stiffened. Some touched their stomachs, some simply stared at the bracelets. Junpei gingerly touched his stomach. Thought of it made him queasy. His stomach felt oddly hollow and his legs were weak. Junpei looked over at the others.
もう一度だけ聞かせてくれ。本当にゼロについて心当たりがあるやつはいないのか？
They were all silent, each person waiting to hear what the others would say. Finally, Santa spoke.
実は俺、ゼロの姿を見たんだよな。だが顔はわからなかった。あの野郎、ガスマスクをかぶってやがって。
What too many songs? Are they still making more? I've never watched any of them.
あれなんだよそのしらけた反応は。もっとこう、なんかないのか驚いたりとかそういうの。
Instead, it was Santa who looked surprised. There was a moment of silence and then everyone spoke at once.
それなら私だって見たわよ。
ああ、私もだ。
私も見たよ。マスクの中は分かんなかったけど。
あのガスマスク、心臓に悪いですよね。
え
つまりは、全員拉致された時の状況はほぼ同じだったってことだな。場所は自室。時刻は深夜。ゼロとおぼしき犯人は、ガスマスクをかぶっていた。白い煙を吸い込んで、意識を失った。そして気がつくと D デッキの船室。三段ベッドのある部屋に横たわっていた。
セブンは？そういえばセブンはどうだったんだよ。
Only Seven's story seemed to lack the detail of the others.
な？俺か？俺もまあ、お前らと同じようなもんだよ。
That was all he had said. It had occurred to Junpei at the time that it sounded somewhat strange, but he didn't press the issue.
それはまあ、ひとまずいいとしよ
He hadn't done so because there was something that struck him as even
う。
stranger.
それよりも、
That was the mystery of the relationship between Snake and
ニ
Clover.
ルス、四つ葉、二人同じ部屋で拉致されて、同じ船室で目覚めたってどういうことだよ。
Junpei looked at them
お
thoughtfully.
前ら一体、どういう関係なんだよ。
It was Clover that answered. Clearly, she felt she had nothing to hide.
私たち、兄弟なの。
兄弟？
Yeah!
そう、兄弟。ニルスがお兄ちゃんで、私が妹。って言わなくてもわかるよね。
Oh my god! Hi, invaders! Hi, Spooky! Welcome in! I'm new and like the color pink. Vision of the Jeopardies. We're currently playing Zero Escape 999. How are you? How much Hollow Knight? Why are you hollowing the knights? Welcome in. Also, thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Usually you would get a Pikachu as you are raiders, but I'm still a little sick, so no Pikachu. I'm sorry. I'm having a lot of fun. Have you played 999? Have you played the Zero Escape games? Do you know what would have been funny? Hi, Tando. Good evening. Behold, you can hear Rika Furude in this game. Junpei was taken aback. The others seemed just as surprised.
そういうことだ。
He laid his hand on Clover's
そん
shoulder.
なに驚くことかな。
Well, you don't look very similar. But to be fair, I mean, you both have anime-style colored hair, so whatever. Hi! That's your raid apparently that's your raid message. You have no say in the matter. I see. Well, welcome in, raiders. I'm glad you made it.
そりゃ驚くだろうが。
どうして？顔見知りだったら他にもいるじゃないか。ほら、そこに。
Snake pointed at Junpei and June.
私と俊平くんのことですか？
ああ、そういえば言ってたな。二人は幼馴染だとかなんだとか。
確か小学校が同じなのよね。
Yup. Why is there no background music anymore? June glanced at Junpei, uncomfortable with the sudden attention.
それはそうだが。
Junpei felt somewhat nervous as well and tried to scratch his head as casually as possible.
なあ、それってゼロの正体を突き止めるための手がかりになるんじゃないのか？
ああ、そうだな。被害者の接点をたどれば容疑者につながる。犯罪捜査の常識だ。
淳平くん、紫さん、何か思い当たることはないの？
思い当たること？
思い当たることですか？
They looked at one another, and like it was staged, they both tilted their neck at the same time.
例えば、大富豪の御曹司が生徒の中にいたとか。
大富豪の
御曹司？
船を丸ごと一隻使ってこんなゲームを仕掛けてきたんだもの。
Clearly, they have a lot of money in their hands. At their hands.
ゼロにはよほど体力があるとしか思えないわ。
ああ、それはどうだろう。私は何らかの組織による犯行だと思うがね。ゼロというのはその代表者か象徴みたいなもので。
組織っていうのは？
軍だとか研究機関だとかいろいろあるだろう。これはもしかしたら何か心理学的な実験なのかもしれない。
だとしたらよっぽど狂った実験だな。人が一人死んでるんだぜ。
The word dead hung in the air, heavy and ominous. The room went quiet again.
ゼロが何者なのかはわからねえが、頭のイカれた野郎だってことは間違いない。仮に複数なら、もちろんそいつら全員がだ。
Even with the specter of death hanging over them, the discussions continued for some time.
だからそれはもう終わった話だろう。
だが、それ
Oh,
なら
thank you,
一体どうする？
finally, some music.
それはちゃんと話し合ってから。
You should open those fucking doors, girl.
これ以上何を話し合ってんだよ。
Sunder threw up his hands, his voice filled with
こ
irritation.
こでああだこうだ言い合っても、結局何一つ脱出への手がかりなんざ見つかってねえじゃねえか。なあ、本当にいいのかよ、このままで。俺たちに残されたのはあと7時間半。与えられた9時間のうちすでに1時間半も使っちまったんだぞ。
Everyone there was already on the edge of panic. What Sunder told them only made their feeling more intense. No one was willing to argue this time.
そうね。
They should get moving, yeah.
やむをえんな。先に進むしかあるまい。
ゼロの言いなりになるなんて腹渡が煮えくり返るほどムカつくが。
まあこのままじっとしててもしょうがないしね。
Are you familiar with this voice? Does this voice sound familiar to you in any way? It should. It should.
ウイルスのカードのおかげでどうすればいいかも分かったし。
ああ、ルールさえ守っていれば きっと大丈夫。何も起こらないだろう。
Someone put us into this nunnery game and we need to find our way out. ニパー。
でもなんだ。
誰がどっちの扉に入るんですか？
June looked toward the numbered doors.
ああ、そうか。一箇所に入れるのは最大でも5人まで。
I say we go into the door where the gore is.
8人全員で入ることはできないから。
二手に分かれるしかなさそうだ。
ちょっと待って。
Lotus looked
先
terrified.
に言っとくけど、私は5の扉には入らないからね。
おいおい、わがまま言うなよ。
わがままだろうとなんだろうと絶対に嫌。あの血だまりの上を歩くぐらいなら私はここに残るわ。
I know. I know. I mean, pretty much everyone here is a big name voice actor anyway, but the revelation to me is just, oh wait, that is her. Because last time I played this game, I hadn't played Higurashi yet. So this is crazy to me. Hi Zen! Good afternoon! Good evening, good evening.
やれやれ。せっかくみんなでまとまりかけたって時に。
I shook his head sadly.
悪いが俺もごめんだな。5の扉はパスだ。
Oh, come on!
おいおい、サンタまで何を言い出すんだ。
You have not played Zero Escape? You've not played 999? Get on that right now!
この靴買ったばっかなんだよ。あのキモいおっさんの血で汚したくないんだ。
That was the last straw.
お前な。そもそも最初に先に進もうって言い出したのはお前なんだぞ。
To be fair, you can get these games for very cheap in literally every single bigger Steam sale all the time. Like, they were just on sale during the spring sale. I think you can get the entirety of the Zero Escape games for like less than, maybe not 10, but less than 15 bucks usually. Which is, well, both Nonary games, which is already a collection of 2 games, and then Zero Time Gelände. So 3 games, 3 full games. You have the game. Okay, see, that makes it easier. That means you can definitely play it. You should make that a priority.
あ？知らねえよそんなもん。俺は最初から4の扉に入るつもりだったし。
参ったなこりゃ。
There was an awkward silence. Finally, Seven spoke.
わかったよ。それじゃあ俺が5の扉に入ろう。と言っても一人だけじゃどうにもならねえ。誰か一緒に来てくれるやつはいないか。
There was another long silence. This time Snake was the one to break it.
僕が行こう。
お兄ちゃん。
Wait, hold on. If we have 7 and 2... Who's number 6? Well, 6 would work, but that's June. So that's not... She doesn't want to go in there. Who else could we go with? Ace, maybe? That's... And Clover. We could... Wait, hold on. We could have 7, 2, 1, 4. But what about the other door then? You know what? The game is going to do that for me. I don't need to think about that.
大丈夫だよ。心配いらない。一旦は離れ離れになってしまう。もう一度どこかで合流できるはずだ。
どうしてわかるの？
We have to go through both of them at some point anyway, for different endings.
わかるから。わかるんだ。
But my plan was to start with door 5, so.
答えになってないよ。だったら私も一緒に行く。5の扉に入る。
Okay, wait. If Clover wants to go in here, yeah, that would work. But then we have 3, 6, 9, 8. Oh yeah, no, that works. If we have 7, Snake, Ace, and Clover go into this one, and then we have Santa, June, Lotus, and Az go into door 4. It would work, right? Unfortunately for everyone else, unfortunately for everyone involved right now, I want to go into door 5. So I have main character privilege. I step forward. See, I'm just proud of myself for actually managing to figure that out myself.
これに四つ葉の4と私の1を足せば数字根は5になる。
7たす2たす4たす1イコール14の数字根は1たす4イコール5か。
なんだ、だったらそれでいいじゃん。その4人で5の扉に入れば。
待ってくれ。残った他の4人はどうなる？数字根はいくつだ？
4. Jumpy did a quick mental calculation.
残ったメンバーはヤシロ、サンタ、紫、そして俺。この4人のバングルナンバーはそれぞれ8、3、6、5
Yes. Yes, thank you.
8365。この数字根は
4.
8たす3たす6たす5イコール22だから22の数字根は2たす2イコール4か。
He repeated what he determined.
残った4人のバングルナンバーを足すと数字根は4になる。
じゃあその4人で4の扉に入れるってことですね。
ああ、うまい具合に分かれたな。
Yeah, unfortunately for you though, that's not what we're gonna do.
もう一度まとめてみよう。5の扉に入るのはセブン、ニルス、四つ葉、一宮の4人。
Unless they force you to go through door number 4 in the beginning, but I don't think they do.
4の扉へはヤシロ、サンタ、紫、俺の4人で入ることになる。だが本当にこれでいいのか？
Nope.
この扉の先には9番の男の死体が転がっている。
On the other hand, I think we could do door 4 and we could still go for the same ending that I wanted to start off with, but I immediately want to make all of these people not like me as much.
二度と見たくない光景ではあるが奴の死体をこの目で確かめておいた方がいいような気もするんだよな。だが5の扉を選べばそれを嫌っているヤシロやサンタとは必然的に別れることになる。当然紫とんだ。あいつをあの凄惨な現場に連れて行くわけにはいかない。
Jumpy was
この流れ
torn.
のままに4の扉へと入るべきか、あるいは待ったをかけてこの扉に入りたいと伝えるべきなのか。
As he turned his options over and over in his mind, Ace spoke up.
さてと、それでは決まりだな。行こう。
No. He began to walk toward door
私は
5.
5の扉へ行こう。
Clover and Snake follow with 7 a short distance behind.
私たちもそっちだね。お兄ちゃん。
こらこら、そんなに強く引っ張らなくても扉は逃げないよ。
俺はどっちの扉に？
I decided that it had to be door 5.
待ってくれ。
Jumpy's cry echoed across the room. 4 people walking towards the door stopped and turned back toward him.
俺も 5の扉に入らせてくれ。
The words were scarcely out of his mouth when June spoke up.
ちょっと何言ってるんですか、純平くん。だったら私も一緒に行きます。
He turned around to look at
ダメ
her.
だ。お前を連れて行くわけにはいかない。
なんでですか？
あの現場に踏み込むことになるんだぞ。耐えられるのかよ。
それは。
June opened her mouth as if to say something, and instead closed it again and looked at the floor. Junpei felt an ache in his chest at a clear distress, but the choice was not his to make. There was nothing else he could do. Junpei turned away from June, doing his best to silence his turbulent emotions.
頼む。5の扉に入らせてくれ。
Seven scratched his head and looked at the young man.
参ったな。振り出しに戻っちまったじゃねえか。
順平くんのバングルナンバーは5だったね。だとすると、順平くんを加えるのであれば、僕ら4人の中から5を引かなければならないことになる。
Snake turned to Ace.
四つ葉のこと、頼んだよ。
ああ、私は別に構わないが。
You feel like you've heard all of their voices before? Well, okay, hold on. I do still have the tab open. Hold up. Let's see. Okay, so Junpei is voiced by Tatsuhisa Suzuki. Akane is voiced by Miyuki Zawashiro. Ace is voiced by Takayahashi, which I have to admit is not a name that rings any bells of for me. Definitely voiced a bunch of old men for sure, but I no, couldn't tell you. No, couldn't tell you either. Snake is voiced by Takahiro Sakurai. Santa is voiced by Kisho Taniyama. Clover is voiced by Yukari Tamura. Seven is voiced by Kenta Miyake, and Lotus is voiced by Rie Tanaka. So there's definitely some voices in there that you might have heard before. Yes, a lot of big ones. Absolutely. One plus four is five.
お兄ちゃん。
いいから、僕の言った通りにするんだ。お前は他のみんなと一緒に4の扉へ。
嫌だよ。
わがままを言うんじゃない。
Snake's tone was harsh.
なの。
Tears welled up in Clover's eyes. She bit her lip and did her best to fight them off. Snake's expression softened and he put his arms around Clover. He held her close and whispered into her ear.
大丈夫だ。安心しろ。
It looked as though he whispered two or three more words, but whatever they were, Junpei didn't hear them.
ニルスのやつ。
He couldn't help but wonder what the other man had said. Snake pulled back from his sister, his eyes kind and inquiring.
わかったよ。
Her voice was barely audible from where Junpei stood. I just think getting the ending that we're going for makes more sense if we go this way, by the way. That's quite literally the only reason. You can still absolutely get the ending I'm going for while going through door 4 first. But we're gonna see all of the rooms anyway. So before long, new teams were
最後
assembled.
にもう一度確認しよう。5の扉に入るメンバーはセブン、ニルス、俺、7足す2足す5の合計は14。
Yes,
14
Junpei.
の数字根は
I
1足す
think
4
we've seen
で
it enough
5
times
になる。
now.
4の扉に入るメンバーはヤシロ、サンタ、紫、一宮、四つ葉、8足す3足す6足す1足す4の合計は22だ。22の数字根は2足す2で4になる。というわけだが、これでいいか？
Yes, get on with it.
異論はないぞ。
うん。やろう。
よし。それじゃあ。
Seven, Snake, and Junpei scanned their numbered bracelets in quick succession. Screen of the red showed 3 as
あとは
terrorists.
レバーを下げるだけか。よし。
それじゃあ行ってくるよ。
Junpei glanced around one last time, his hand resting on a lever of the red.
はい。気をつけてくださいね。
Concern was written plainly across her face. Junpei looked her in the eye and gave what he hoped was a reassuring nod. He pulled the lever. Dun 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 dun. The sharp clack of a lock releasing the door swung open.
開いた。
Ahead of them, in the small hallway, were the pitiful remains of the ninth man.
ひでえありさまだな。
これがあの9番の男なのか。
For a moment, Junpei froze. Try as he might, his eyes would not leave the corpse, and his feet would not leave the floor. 7 too seemed paralyzed. Snake, on the other hand, seemed unconcerned. He walked calmly down the bloody hallway and only stopped when he realized his companions were not following.
血の中を平然と。
ねえ、僕を殺すつもりなのかい？扉が開いている時間は9秒しかないんだよ。
He hadn't even bothered to turn around. His head was, at most, slightly cocked toward one shoulder.
すまない。
行くぞ。
Junpei and Seven looked at one another, nodded, and threw themselves through the door. As they did, a cold tone sounded from the left wrists of all 3 men. Seven and Junpei looked down at the bracelets. On both of them, and on Snake's, a red skull had flickered to life.
カウントダウンが始まりやがった。
They had scarcely processed this information when... I like that I went through the trouble of animating this same door animation with some blood on it. With a metallic slam, the numbered door behind them swung shut.
くそ、扉が。
退路は断たれたということか。あとは解除装置を見つけない限り。
おい、出たらどこだ。
The fear and urgency in Seven's face reflected what all 3 of them felt.
落ち着いて、周りをよく見て。
ああ、わかってるよ。
Junpei spun around, searching desperately for the dead. He found it easily enough. It was on a wall next to the closed door labeled 5.
ここだ。
As he yelled, he struck the scanner with his hand. The other 2 scrambled to follow suit. As soon as they finished, Snake threw the lever down. Snake is so terribly, terribly pale.
止まったみたいだな。
As he spoke, Junpei wiped the sweat from his forehead with a trembling hand.
ヒヤヒヤさせてくれるぜ。
A muscle stood out in Seven's neck, and the corners of his mouth were twitching. Better find the dead if you don't want to be dead. They could hear anxious voices, muffled but distinct, from the other side of the door.
大丈夫だ。
起爆送信機は止まったよ。
They heard relieved sighs, and even through the door, the 3 men could feel the tension disperse.
それじゃあ、俺たちは先に行くぜ。お前らも気をつけろよ。
わかったわ。
了解だ。
Well, let's do it then. They heard footsteps moving away, and before long they were alone again.
さてと、
Junpei looked around.
この通路は行き止まりか。
The hallway ended roughly 20 or 30 feet from where they stood.
この壁、動いたりとか。
Thank you for the pet and the height of time. The strap-on stream was a long time ago. But maybe at some point we'll actually get to the strap-on game. I mean, what? Huh?
ダメだ。ビクともしない。
Who said that? Yeah, it was.
なあ、こっちに扉があるぞ。
To the left, however, was a wooden door that looked positively inviting by comparison. In the middle of it was a plaque that read First Class.
一等選出か。
らしいな。
Hey, it's April 1st. I can say that.
入ってみよ
Dun 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 dun.
う。それじゃ、行くよ。
おう。
Without hesitation, Snake opened the door and stepped inside. Seven followed closely behind him. Junpei moved to follow them as well, but he stopped just short of the threshold and looked back, not knowing why.
見る前とは思っていたけど
Lying in the small hallway was a man's body, or at least what was left of it. He tried hard to avoid looking at the grisly scene, but it just wouldn't. Grizzly or grisly? Grizzly. Grizzly like a... Grisly. I don't know. You can continue Riser 2. Well, depending on how fast you are, maybe I'll actually get to Riser 2 until... No, probably not. I think I'd already be proud of myself if I managed to go through Sophie 2 and Lulua this year. I think that's a goal I would like to reach. And then Riser. Finally. Just wouldn't leave. It's mine.
ひどすぎるもう形も何もあったもんじゃないな
What had once been a man's internal organs now looked like so much vomit, as though something had chewed up and spit out the better part of his torso. It was hideous, but worse still, it was cruel. It was hard to believe the thing on the floor had once been human. The black pool of thick blood, the lumps of glistening flesh spread across the floor. The awkward, twisted angle of shredded intestines. The head wrenched to some grotesque, unnatural position. Okay! Keep talking about it, I guess.
これはあの男が身につけてたものか
The man's glasses lay next to his head. The lenses were cracked and the frame bent and distorted. And next to the glasses lay a bracelet, the number 9 still displayed on his face.
これが外れてるそうか確か
Yes, we discussed it. Okay, thank you, I know, I'm aware.
死んだからバングルが外れたんだでもここまでぐちゃぐちゃになるんじゃなあれが元は人だったって言うんだから
Suddenly, Junpei felt his stomach convulse and a knot of muscle gripped his throat.
想像しただけで吐きそうだもう行こう
He clapped his hand over his mouth and ran to the first-class cabin. Which should bring us to our next escape room, actually. I would like to do that. The atmosphere changed immediately. The room was gorgeous, and despite the apparent age of the ship, none the worse for wear.
あれあいつらはどこに
He looked around. Seven and Snake were nowhere to be seen. There were 2 doors on the right side of the room. He opened the one on his right and went through.
この先か
Oh, that's a lot of doors. On the other side of the door was a short hallway. He jogged down the hallway, opened the door at the other end, and peeked through. There they were, to his right, busy examining something.
どうしたんだ
He stepped through the door and walked toward them.
見ろよ、これ。ドアにわけのわからねえ装置がついてやがる。
赤いランプがついてるなロックがかかってるのか
そうらしいね
Very good series, absolutely. I love the Zero Escape games. Never played them on the original DS though, I have to admit. But I love them. Thank you for the follow, welcome in!
他に出口は
ざっと調べてみたが、なさそうだ。
ってことは、このドアを開かない限り。
Well, we're stuck.
先には進めないってことになるね。
Junpei stepped away from the door and looked around the room.
ここは、ベッドルームみたいだな。
さっき、最初に入った部屋はリビングだろうね。
とにかく、あのドアを開く方法を探そう。さあ、行動開始だ。
Yo! Seek a way out! Ta-da! Oh yeah. Alright. Good. Yes, the original game did not have voiceovers. This version of the game has both Japanese and English voiceover, depending on which one you want to use. But I'm a sucker for Japanese stuff, so... They are. Okay, quick question. Both of you sound like you've played the game before. Do you prefer the DS game's final puzzle, or do you prefer this version's final puzzle? If you are aware of the differences without spoiling it. For anyone who might not know. Aha, would you look at that? A school plate. Okay. Took Junpei by surprise. Snake, usually so calm and collected, suddenly began to move. You haven't finished it. You really enjoy. Okay, absolutely, that's fair. You haven't played the final puzzle in the remaster. Okay, you liked it. Okay, that's fair. Me personally, because I haven't played the original, I've only heard about it. I like the original more though, for the simple reason of it, you know, being the way it is. But I haven't actually seen it for myself, like in action. I think this one is also okay, but like I was definitely thinking, okay, yeah, they're going to hit me with the same thing as the original, and then they do something completely different. I was like, oh, okay, well, sure. He stared about the room almost frantically, clearly looking for something. No, Junpei thought, not staring. After all, he's blind. Blind or not, Snake was clearly attempting to do something. At last, Junpei could no longer contain his curiosity. To try the DS version first. To be fair, I think like everything else is kind of the same, right? I think if you're already doing this remaster and you've done most of it, I think it's fine if you just like look up a video of the original so you can see what it's like. I do love me a good brain teaser, yes. Snake waited a moment before answering. Oh.
奇妙な音?
いや、なんでもない。特に異常はなさそうだ。僕は自分で言うのもなんだけれど、人並み外れた聴覚を持っていてね。だから、些細な物音でも気になってしまうんだよ。
もしかして、千里先に落ちた針の音までとか言い出すんじゃないだろうな。
さすがにそれは無理だよ。でも、かすかな足音や息遣い、その他諸々の反響音から物体の位置を把握することなら可能だ。
The way he says it kind of reminds me of a bat, like echolocation. The actual puzzle really didn't do it for you? Okay, that's fair. A lot of DS games, or more like, I feel like with the DS, a lot of developers actually really try to do something special. Simply with how the DS was made, right? It was the same with when we played, fuck, what's it called? Mr. Detective. I love the man, but why can I never remember his name? I like the DS games that really make good use of out of the fact that you can just close the DS. And it would do something, it would trigger something in the game. Hotel Dust, thank you. And it would trigger something in the game. Obviously, that's a little harder to do when you play it on an emulator and you're like, oh my god. Okay, there's a puzzle that has me close the DS, haha. But still, that's cool. Well, professional stylist delivery. I mean, to be fair, all of the Japanese, or most of the Japanese voice actors are definitely very prolific. Prolific? How's that word go? Voice actors. So they're definitely very, very much professionals. Though I do think all of the English voice actors are also professionals, as far as I'm aware. Sweet, I got a paperclip.
ああ、そういえばお前、さっき四つ葉が大階段で倒れた時、すぐにその場に駆け寄ってたよな。あれも？
その通り、音で分かったのさ。だから僕は、ある程度の速度でなら走ることだってできるし、もしも誰かが殴りかかってきたら、 返り討ちにすることだってできる。
本当にそんなことが。
Junpei was somewhat taken aback by this revelation. He stared at Snake, skeptical.
もしかして疑ってるのかい？
No, I would rather
まあ
not give it a
試
try.
してみたらどうだ？
Kyle Hyde was his name. Kyle Hyde was his name. I love that guy. I'm very glad I got to play both of those games. Yes, I will never blame a voice actor on like their delivery of specific lines not being good, because like someone else had to listen to those lines and had to go, okay, that's not how I want the line, or that is exactly how I want the line. So if it sounds off, someone else had to sign off on that and be like, yes, this is how we want it, even if it sucks in that sense. Yes, we played the original, played the DS version on stream, and then they announced the collection on Switch, and I was like, oh sweet, that makes it easier for me to play the second game, right? Because oh god, we also maybe that means we will get Hotel Dusk. Do you like? I would buy it again immediately if they would remake and port Hotel Dusk. I would buy it. Absolutely.
きっと後悔することになると思うけれど。さあ、無駄話はこれで終わりだ。探索を再開しよ
う。Okay. With a small self-satisfied smile, Snake turned and walked away from Junpei. Okay. Yeah. To be fair, I only got a Wii towards like the end of the Wii's lifespan, so I never had many games for it, so I never got to play the Wii release, but I'm glad we even have it. What is this desk? A white desk. Feels kind of fancy. Oh, nothing else about it? It's just a fancy desk, okay. A small round chair. Looks like it probably goes to the vanity. Okay, what else do we have in this room? Doors. Piano. Absolutely. Like, I'm glad that they came out with it. Like, it was kind of left field, no? Like, okay, here we go. We're remaking these games. And also, thank you, Jesus, they reworked the script. Because you can clearly tell, we had an Ashley. We had a name counter for every name at some point. Mostly Ashley. We had an Ashley counter for every single time they had Ashley in the script. You could tell the translation wasn't bad, but the translation was extremely literal, and that every sentence that had an Ashley in it in the original Japanese also put an Ashley in it in the English sentence, which doesn't sound as good. You would not say the name of someone you're talking to or talking about as many times. Yes, and with the remake, the localization definitely was improved. Also, hi Raiders, welcome in! I'm new, I like the color pink vision of his JRPGs, and I really need to drink real quick before my voice goes completely off the rails. 1 second. Hi! Welcome in. We're currently playing Zero Escape 999, and we're raving a little bit about some other games. How is stream? How is Elden Ring? Hi! Sorry, I'm still a little sick. My voice definitely is not a big fan of me talking as much as I am. Multiple hydrates. No, there's a cooldown on the hydrate, don't worry. Played again after so long? Nice. But no, we had an Ashley counter. We had an Ashley counter because there was so many Ashleys. And the remake definitely improved on that. They rewrote a bunch of sentences to sound better in English. No, you cannot drown me. I do have cooldowns on pretty much all of my stuff. And I'm drinking. I am drinking. It's desperately needed. What's this? This isn't a score. Is this a map of the ship? A map? There's a map of the ship here? Yeah. Then I imagine it will prove very helpful. You best hold on to it, Junpei. Okay. Pad has no cooldown because Pad is not a redeem. Pad is something you can simply write in chat. It is now possible to use the map screen. Oh, thank you for the tutorial. Uh-huh. You record over the course of the story. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for the pats. Absolutely get your dinner. Thank you so much for coming by. Thank you for the raid. Yeah, no, I would like to get out of this room, and for that I need to log in. Yeah, on a keyboard. What is Snake doing? He can't play, can he? This piano, there's something amiss with the keys. You mean it's out of tune or something? No, not that. It's properly tuned, just... Well, the sounds are clearly purposefully different. C key doesn't yield the C, but rather different note entirely. Same goes for the D keys. Play some other note. Huh. Why do you think it's like that? Isn't it painfully obvious? Zero modified in some way. This piano, you see, is part of one of the puzzles Zero has set for us. Perhaps if you play the keys in the correct order, something will happen. In other words, we need to play a song on the piano. I believe so. Thank you. Yeah. Tomorrow's the last day for me to take the antibiotics I got. And I've been drinking tea like crazy. But yeah, overusing my voice tonight is not the smartest idea until I'm fully recovered. Okay. What is in here? It's totally a table with a mirror. Ah yes, you know, that sort of thing is known as a vanity. Were you aware of that, Junpei? Junpei literally said about the chair that this belongs to the vanity. Of course, vanity also refers to self-love, conceit, and narcissism. As such, you could say that every day when a woman looks into one of these, she's staring at her own conceit and narcissism. Doesn't that strike you as terribly sad? What? Huh? Moonlight Sonata from Resident Evil. What the fuck, dude? You want me to save my game? I will save my game. Always a good idea to save my game. Thank you. It has been a while. How have you been? Okay, hold on. What else do we have? Aha! Ooh. The safe is locked. It's one of those dial locks. It doesn't have a key, we just need to get the dials in the right place and it'll open. Did you find anything, Seven? Nope. How about you, Snake? I also found nothing. Well, okay. What do we have in here? Ha! A score plate C. We don't have a score plate B yet. Assuming there is one. Oh no, wait. C... A? Okay, what's in here? A leather suitcase. There's nothing inside. I can tell by the weight it makes no noise when shaken. Okay, damn. I could have looked at it still. I've been okay. I'm a little under the weather. There's this weird cold and sore throat I've been lugging around since last week. But other than that, oh god, there's too many doors in here. Where's this? Oh, bathroom. Lights, huh? Doesn't look like there's anything hidden there. Okay. Though arguably, I don't think he needs a lot of guidance. From what we've seen, he's very self-sufficient. Sink's clean. Any water? Nothing's coming out. Got the faucet on all the way, but I can't hear anything. What about this? Bathtub is full of water. Is there ash or something in this water? It looks kind of gray. Let's just pull the plug. No, hold on. Maybe we can, I don't know, use it for something? Use it for something? Use it for something? I don't think I found anything I can use it for yet. Okay, what's this one? It's a heavy piece of paper that's been folded in half. There's a score printed on the front of it. Score. That's gotta mean musical score. If that's true, then the score we just found was probably in here. At least at some point. Okay, that doesn't really help us in any way. Oh! Huh. There's something in the bag. Let's see if I can reach it. Just a little... God damn it, that's hot. You aren't really smart, are you? Come on, of course it's gonna be hot. It's a fire. Even a monkey knows it shouldn't stick its hand in a fire. You could... Oh! Okay, wait. I get it. I got it. You're gonna use this vase, right? It's pretty clever, Junpei. You just gotta fill this thing with water. Yes, that's the plan. Which door is it again? This one. That's full of gross, cloudy water. Shouldn't be too hard to fill this place up. There we go. Oh! Not where I wanted to go. This toilet doesn't seem to be anything in the toilet or the tank. There. Toilet paper on the wall. Nothing that looks suspicious. Okay. Oh! Well, that's one way to go back. Time to put this fire out. What time, buddy? Let's do it. Here we go. Good job. Another success. I thought I didn't stand a chance. Thanks, Scott, my man. Alright, I just pull this out now. Don't want to get burned, so let's pull down the sleeves. Let's go play. Had to use the ways to knock the note over to a screen. Granted, worst case, they could have maybe tried to smother it with the blanket from the bedroom, maybe. But there's always a very high chance for something to catch on fire if you do that. Junpei tucked the plate into his pocket. Are you okay? Seven cried out and stumbled, his balance lost. He threw out a hand and caught the wall in time to steady himself and avoid the floor, but his face was flushed and he looked startled.
Oh! どうしたんだよ、セブン。大丈夫か？
大丈夫だ。ちょっとめまいがしてな。
Oh! Seven rubbed a couple of fingers across his brow and then shook his head as if to clear it.
俺の頭一体どうなっちまったんだ。突然めまいに襲われたり、記憶障害を患ってたり。
記憶障害?
Oh yeah, would you look at that? A game for our annual amnesia as a trope list. I don't remember if you've played any other games, but hey, would you look at that? This one definitely does have amnesia as a trope. Yay! Junpei couldn't hide the surprise in his voice. Seven, for his part, seemed unconcerned.
そうか。お前にはまだ言ってなかったな。あの大階段のところへお前がやってくる前に、他の目覚める前のことを何も思い出すことができねえってな。だから、お前以外の全員はみんなこのことは知っていて。
ちょっと待ってくれ。それってもっと一般的な言葉で言うと記憶喪失ってことだよな。
Hell yeah.
そうだな。
どうして記憶喪失なんかに。
Well, how are you gonna ask an amnesiac why the amnesiac? You don't remember anything? Why? But why the fuck do you think, buddy?
それがわかりゃ、記憶喪失じゃねえだろうが。
まあ、そうだけど。
Junpei paused for a moment and stared at Seven.
でも、それって本当なのか？
あ？
記憶喪失にしてはやけに落ち着いてるっていうか、本当ならもっとこううろたえたり取り乱したりするはずだろ？
最初はもちろんうろたえたさ。D デッキの選出で目覚めた時はな。だが、あれからもうだいぶ時間が経ってる。慣れちまったんだよ。諦めることにしたんだ。悶々と思い悩んでたって仕方がね。記憶喪失ってやつは大抵は一過性のもんだしね。ほっときゃそのうち治るだろう。
そういうもんか？
そういう。さあ、余計な話はこれぐらいにして探索を再開しよう。
Seven gave Junpei a look the younger man wasn't sure how to interpret and turned to look away. Oh, 999, hell yeah, welcome in. Thank you for the follow.
いいのかそれで。
He's just chill like that. Somehow that Junpei didn't find his reassurances very reassuring. Aw. I think it's pretty calming actually to have someone go, oh yeah, you know, I'm an amnesiac, but you know, whatever. Just a chill guy. Wait, hold on. I don't need the water anymore, so this means I can unplug this guy now, right? Come on, great. No worries about being late. I appreciate you coming by. There a plug on the end of this chain. There a typo in my video game. Alright, why don't we just drain this water? Yeah, good plan. It's a thing. A good tug ought to be enough to get it out. Huh. Let's go play D. Okay, where have I not been to? You were lurking as well. Ah, nice. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the Zero Escape games. Is there anything else in this room that I haven't checked out? Yes. They said to drain the bathtub. Not how. Ah. Another one. Suitcase made of leather, the color of rich mahogany. Shoot, looks like there's nothing in it. Okay. Thank you for the biddies. Okay. Does that mean we have enough? Seems a good place. I need to put the music we found. Just gonna put the ceramic plate on the bottom. And then stuck the glass plates on top of it. Alright, good. Sweet. Now I can play the music. I like the Somnium games, yes. I've played both of them. Arguably, I do have to say, I think I forgot more of the plot of the Somnium games than I have of the Zero Escape games overall. But also, I've played the Zero Escape games several times, and the Somnium games I've played only once so far. But because of the new one they announced, and them using the tagline Seek a Way Out for the Somnium games, I was like, wait, for the new one. I'm like, are they going to bring them back around to somehow connect to these? Because if they are, hell yeah. And that's why I really wanted to play them again. Junpei, would you be so kind as to play the piano? I'm unable to, you see. I'm sure I needn't tell you, but the keys on this piano are not what you might expect them to be. C won't be C, D won't be D, and so forth. You must listen carefully to determine which keys to strike. Do you understand? Yeah. Alright, let's give this a shot. I can't play the piano anyway. So fun. You get so excited? Yeah! I feel like the funniest thing is I was still at work when the Nintendo Direct happened, so I actually missed like the trailer, whatever. So I go online and I see like new Somnium game. What? Oh, wait, for real? Everyone's really excited. For real? I think most people like the first one more, but I enjoyed them both. Okay, let's see. What noises do these guys make? Ah. Oh. No, that's not. Okay, hold on. I want to know what. Okay, you're up there. You're this one. Ah, you're the one down there. Okay. Okay, gotcha. Ah. Kaname Data never sleeps. Dun, 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 dun. And we're done. Music is not my forte. Wait, what was that noise? Junpei, we did it. Looks like it worked. I heard something unlock off a the exit. Let's go. Your plan. Stand! Oh! Appreciate it! Greets! Well, I guess he hasn't forgotten that. At least Snake thinks it's funny. Yes, I suppose that was the classroom bell, wasn't it? I don't imagine that's what Zero was thinking of, however. No, Zero almost certainly meant to suggest Westminster, not middle school. Westminster? The palace in London, a place host these days to the Houses of Parliament. You've heard of Big Ben, the famous clock tower, yes? Big Ben plays a very collection of notes on the hour. London. Capital of England, huh? At any rate, the door is now unlocked. Let's leave this place immediately. Oh yeah. Ja-jang. Ja-jang. Yeah, the sign screen now. I would imagine that means it's now unlocked. And what the hell are we sitting around here for? Let's get out of here. Well, do it then. Alright, let's go. Ah. He came out of the door and into a long straight hallway. Well, it is a ship. Half of a ship is just long hallways with many rooms.
Huh?
He paused for a moment and turned around to look behind him.
これでよしと。
Seven was bent over, apparently doing something to the door.
何やってるんだ?
Junpei had spoke more or less to himself, but apparently Seven had heard anyway. The larger man stood up and turned to Junpei.
ドアの隙間に路面のプレートをかませておいたんだ。せっかく開いたロックがもう一度かかっちまわないようにするためにな。こうしておけばいつでもこの部屋に戻ってこれるだろう。
戻ってきてどうするんだい?
Snake was a reasonable one. Seven thought about it for a moment before he answered.
ピアノを弾くんだよ。
ピアノ?
さあ行こう。先に進むんだ。
I think it's never a bad idea to keep doors open that you manage to unlock, so... Without waiting for an answer, Seven started off down the hallway. Snake shrugged, sighed, and quietly followed Seven. That's a lie, Junpei thought to himself.
セブンのやつ、どう見てもピアノなんて弾けるようなタイプじゃないだろう。仮に弾けたとしても、あのピアノの鍵盤の配置はデタラメなわけだし、じゃあ、どうしてロックがかからないようにしておいたんだ? さっぱりわからん。
おい、待ってくれ!
Honestly, for me, no matter what kind of lines he does at this point or what kind of characters he voices, for me, this is always going to be a Noctis from Final Fantasy 15. Like, that's the voice for some reason that really burned into my brain. Junpei frowned, took one last look at the door, and then walked away toward his companions. After some time in the hallway, they emerged into a larger, more open area.
鉄格子?
A large metal grate, like the door of a jail, divided it in half.
なんでこんなものが?
It would be too easy if you can just go absolutely everywhere, no? They shook it for a while, but as they had expected, it did not move.
まあ無理だよな。
あれはエレベーターか。
エレベーターが2機か。稼働しているかどうかは。鉄格子の左手の方にもドアがあるぞ。
Unfortunately, however, it was locked and refused to open.
鍵がかかっているみたいだね。
It's ingrained into your brain. Oh yeah. I love the music. Earlier, for some reason, there was no music for a while. I was like, it's slightly uncomfortable if there's no music at all. Like, what's going on? Please give me my music back.
だな。
Junpei took a moment to examine the left side of the
あっちの奥は下り
room
の階段か。
and then just speak too fast for me.
鉄のゲートで塞がれてるみたいだがな。
でも向こうの鉄格子と違ってこっちは可動式のようだね。
つまり開閉が可能ってことか。
Oh, which fighting game?
鍵がかかってるんじゃないか。ほら。
In the center of the door was a small keyhole. Next to the keyhole, a small symbol had been carved into the
な
metal.
んだこのマークは。メス？
He wasn't quite sure what to make of it. Snake naturally was somewhat more sure.
ああ、それは多分金星のマークだと思うよ。ほら、大階段の近くにも同じようなマークがあっただろ。太陽系の星を示すマークが。
ああ、そういえば。
As I said earlier, if Junpei had seen or read Sailor Moon, he would be well more aware of many of those signs. Just saying, even without an interest in any astronomy, if you had just seen Sailor Moon, you would have seen many of these signs. This one day, soundtrack is incredible. Oh, I see. Never played any of the Street Fighter games, I have to admit.
太陽、土星、それに地球もあったな。
だからそれも多分
メスじゃなくて太陽系の金
だと思う。
うん。あれ？セブンは？
While they had been discussing the symbols, Junpei now realized Seven had slipped away. His absence now felt, Snake and Junpei turned to look for their missing
ああ、いたいた。
companion.
あっちの通路の方か。
Seven had left them to head down the hallway extending to the right of the
こっちだ、ニ
stairs.
ルス。ついてきてくれ。
Junpei grabbed Snake to lead him in the right direction, and they both headed off after Seven. See, now they're holding hands. Maybe. In my mind, they are. Before long, the three of them stood in front of a
こ
door.
のドアは。
It was a French door.
開くぞ。
The fuck is a French door? Junpei tested the door and realized that, unlike so many others that they'd encountered, it was unlocked. Almost as though he was afraid it would suddenly lock itself, Junpei threw the door open. He stepped inside. Ahaha!
ここは
Into another escape room. It took only a moment for Junpei to take in his new
カジノ
surroundings.
バーか。
そうみてえだな。
Before Junpei could comment further, a noise from behind made him turn around. Snake was shaking the door they'd just come through.
参ったな。
As Seven and Junpei watched, he threw up his hands in frustration and then kicked the door for good measure.
どうやら僕たちは閉じ込められてしまったらしい。
There was no reason to panic,
まあ
however.
でも、どっちにしろ、戻ったところで八方塞がりであることに変わりはないしな。
Fair.
この部屋を捜索して先に進む方法を見つけるしかないね。
とにかく手分けして調べてみよう。ほら、ぐずぐずするな。さっさと動け。
Okay, damn, calm down. Spurred to action by Seven's words, Junpei and Snake began to examine the room. Well, they might. They might begin, but I'm going to use this actually and stop there because my voice is definitely going. And it's a good place as any to stop because that way we can focus on getting out of there and then doing more of the story next time. Ha 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 ha. Yes, I would like to return to the title screen. Thank you, game. Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming by. I'm hoping to do a stream tomorrow. I'm unsure if it's going to be 999 or if we're going to continue Infinite Wealth, but either way, we're definitely going to keep continuing both of those games. Hell yeah. Thank you for streaming. No, thank you. And also thank you for the pad. Let me get one last sip in for sure. It is slightly uncomfortable that there seems to be no sound on the main menu screen, aside from when it goes to the intro, opening, cutscene, thingy, whatever. Yes, we're not very far in Infinite Wealth yet. We're in chapter 5. So we're playing I wanted to at least have 2 games again, and not just the one game that I'm kind of slowly making my way through. So this is the goal for now. And also, as soon as my voice is back to more normal, we will definitely be doing more visual novel style games again. I will rest a lot. Thank you. I will go to sleep now. I will rest my voice, and I'm going to send you guys over to Tip, who's playing the Stanley Parable. I'm unsure whether this is the original Stanley Parable or the newer one, but I hope you enjoy. Here's the raid message. I will rest. Thank you. Have a good night, everyone. Main character just gets my voice. Yeah, exactly. But even if it's just the main character, my voice will still die right now. So see you all next time. Thank you so much for coming by. If you stayed from any of the raids earlier, thank you so much for staying. I hope I can catch you all soon. Have a good night. And bye bye. Bye.